20 kids were killed.
Adam Curry, John C. Dvorak.
It's Thursday, August 6, 2015. Time once again for your Gitmo Nation Media Assassination, episode 745.
This is No Agenda.
Jade Helm, 15 plus 22 and counting. Can you get arrested for just counting the days? Broadcasting live from FEMA Region 6 in the capital of the Drone Star State. In the morning, everybody. I'm Adam Curry.
And from northern Silicon Valley, where I've given up on Jade Helm, and July the 4th for that matter, I'm John C. Dvorak.
It's Crackpot and Buzzkill in the morning.
Yeah, but did you hear those guys who were arrested because they were prepping for the Jade Helm 15 invasion?
No, I have not heard that. You have a clip?
No, I don't have a clip. I don't think so. Let me see. No, but what happened is these three dudes were, they're like crazy, which happens, and they're prepping, they're getting guns and ammo, and they're.
Well, who would push them towards such a thing?
Well, what's interesting is these are three guys from North Carolina, and they were spending months compiling their cash. And they bought a lot of it at a military surplus store. The owner became so concerned that he became an informant for the FBI. And, of course, then goaded them into anything. And I don't know if they recorded them secretly saying stuff like, let me tell you something, I'm going to have my fucking house rigged up. These motherfuckers going to try in my house. It's going to go off. And you can get arrested for that now.
Well, these guys are obviously nuts.
Yeah, but still, maybe they just shouldn't be arrested.
And we had a cancellation.
We did?
Yeah, one of the PayPal accounts. Now, we've always bitched about this.
We got, you mean a cancellation of someone's subscription or one of our accounts?
Yeah, no, a subscription. But, these things, people are always saying, hey, I thought I was a subscriber. Then they told me that you kicked me. We have had these issues with PayPal.
I know.
But this one just stopped me in my tracks. This guy, I'll just use his first name, Joseph, canceled automatic payments. This means we no longer automatically draw money from their account to repay you. If you have any questions, they have the details of the email, profile, status, canceled, amount paid each time, $33.33 is the monthly. Billing cycle monthly. Last payment date, December 12th, 2012.
What?
2012? Yeah, that's what I said.
This makes no sense.
2012. So we haven't actually gotten a nickel from this guy since 2012, and now they cancel him in June, July, August of 2015.
Man overboard!
What it sounds like to me.
What is the point of these? What is this? What is the point?
I don't know. Hey, I want to talk about you said these guys are crazy. We had one of these War on Crazy events take place, but this was complex in many ways. I'm talking about the movie, quote unquote, active shooter was right outside of Nashville, in Tennessee.
I have the perfect setup clip.
Okay.
Now this summarizes, I believe. Now you have to remember this shooter. After all, not everybody mentioned this, but he was shooting pepper spray on people, and then he had an axe apparently, and he had a gun, but it was a pellet gun,
airsoft. It's a BB gun.
Yeah, it was a BB gun, right? It wasn't even a pellet gun.
I think this is not even the kind that has a cartridge. You have to pump it up 10 times.
I don't know.
I think
but
so.
Very few. Only Fox, from what I could tell, mentioned it was a BB gun. Everyone else said a gun.
Well,
because I think the mainstream media, gun is everything.
It's even worse than that. But this is
I think the whole, and I don't want to step on you at all, but I think the entire thing is pretty much summed up by this particular CNN clip. This is the new theater guy summed up.
New information tonight about the man who tried to commit mass murder but failed and died in a hail of police gunfire instead.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's how it all ended this afternoon.
You pretty much ruined all my clips, but I'll try anyway.
No.
I'll try anyway. I have Anderson Pooper with the real setup, and I'm going backwards in time. So I was watching CNN, and I was very interested in what happened because, of course, I'm always looking for where were the SRIs, where were the crazy drugs, and of course now it turns out he's tried to do things 4 times, that he's been mentally unstable, he's been on all kinds of antidepressant drugs, which is we know is the real problem. I'm going to just do it in reverse order so you can hear how bogus this really was.
Similar details coming in on the Nashville theater attack. Police have just released the attacker's name, and we're reporting it tonight because they're still looking for information about him. Vincente David Montano, they say, is the man who did this, 29 years old, of Nashville, with a long history of psychiatric difficulties. They've also just released a photo. This is the pistol they say the man was carrying into the theater.
Pistol.
In addition to pepper spray, a fake bomb, and an axe. They say it's an airsoft pistol, an air pistol.
Air pistol.
Very realistic looking weapon, but not a deadly one. It fires BBs. Tonight, the man who was carrying it, Vincente David Montano, is dead, killed in a shootout with police. And
Okay, now I have Pooper was interviewing the public information officer, and this guy, wow, you got to question what he's saying, because there's also a little kind of native advertising in his little spiel, but everything he says is just so full of holes as we go back in the timeline.
Yes, we had two police officers actually working a motor vehicle crash on the street in front of the movie theater parking lot. Persons from the theater ran to them as they were working the crash. The officers stopped what they were doing and immediately ran to the theater. Our response to the theater after this gunman or active shooter situation began.
Now, wait a minute. Now he's saying active shooter situation. There never was, and he never was an active shooter.
No.
Never.
No.
He was not an active shooter, but there's a couple of
active hatchet man.
There's a couple of things in here. Our response time was unbelievable. You happen to be right there, and now they're taking credit for it. This is incredible.
Was probably 60 to 90 seconds.
Oh, you're so great, boy. I feel safe now because you happen to be around the corner.
And what did the officers see when they first entered the theater?
The first officer entered the showing of Mad Max and actually encountered this individual as he entered the theater.
Why does he have to mention Mad Max?
Well, I, for one, when it showed up on Twitter, I said on Twitter, I wonder what the movie was, because I was curious.
Right.
So I think this is just answering my question.
Yeah, I feel it's some kind of...
I didn't think that.
But okay.
The individual raised a gun toward the officer. The officer saw the trigger being pulled.
We're in a movie theater, and he sees the trigger being pulled. Strangely, no fire or bullets came out, but okay.
Our officer fired once at the suspect and then backed away.
Once you heard the clip.
I'm going to play that for you again, don't worry.
Actually keeping him contained in that showing of that movie Mad Max until other officers could...
He says it again, that movie Mad Max. I don't know, but it's just a little too much.
The second time is, but you're right.
Gratuitous.
Because he said it again. I'm now changing my mind.
Okay.
Verge on the scene.
Were there, at that point, were there still theater goers in the theater?
There were a total of 8 persons in that particular movie.
It sounds like Mad Max is a flop, if you ask me. 8 people?
The funny thing is, the woman and her husband, I guess, that were in the other theater, they were in a theater nearby. There were 2 people in that movie.
Yeah.
Including...
They were packing them in for Mad Max.
Oh, yeah.
The gunman. He actually had altercations with some of those movie patrons. He doused a couple of women significantly with pepper spray and used his axe to cut the shoulder of one male moviegoer.
Bastard.
Those persons were scrambling out of the theater as the police officers were arriving. When the police officers first saw the 2 women, apparently his pepper spray had some type of a red chemical compound inside it, and the officers saw red on the women's faces, thinking that was perhaps blood. Well, in fact, it was the chemical spray that this guy had used to douse their faces.
Okay. Then we have, and this, again, I'm going back in the timeline. Here is the first release from CNN when the active shooter situation just occurred.
A gunman opens fire in a Nashville movie theater.
No, I'm sorry. He did not open fire in a Nashville movie theater.
The shooter's face was covered by a surgical mask. He was armed with a gun, a hatchet, and pepper spray. Listen to the tape.
I love that the guy had 3 arms. He had a hatchet, he had the pepper spray, he had the gun. I mean, this guy was fantastic.
Spray. Listen to the tape. We're just getting in of the gunshots. You hear multiple rounds there. Police shot and killed the gunman, but not before 3 people were injured. One man was cut, apparently, by the gunman's hatchet.
Okay, so but your clip indeed kind of ruined the beautiful surprise, but it matters not.
I don't think it ruined anything. Your analysis is different than just the number of shots.
I have 2 pieces of analysis, but we know that this is bullcrap, and you can't keep calling this a gunman, a shooter. He wasn't a shooter. He was not. It was not an active shooting situation. The cops just happened to be around the corner. I guess the guy. It's a bad idea to point anything at law enforcement, but the amount of
even a hot dog. Seriously,
yeah.
A donut would probably be okay.
The amount of rounds that went off, what are they thinking? And actually, I know what they're thinking. Cops are all jacked up. The other thing, active shooters, just fucking mow them down. I understand. Hey, don't point that at me, but still, a little excessive.
I didn't get too much of an analysis of this. I just thought it was a bogus story, and I thought it was just
hold on, I'm going to give you more. I'm
going to wait for that, but I want to mention, I couldn't count the number of bullets that were, because I have that clip, and I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It must have been 30.
It's like 50.
Yeah, at least 30, maybe 50. So now we go even further back in time, and they interviewed the 2 cops who were not the public information officer, and we learned a little bit more.
We're working very hard to exactly confirm the identity before we release it, before we notify family members, but we believe the suspect is 29 years old.
And do you know that his race is white?
He's a male white. He is from this area.
Do you know what type of firearm he was using?
At this point, we've not located the firearm.
See, they couldn't locate the firearm first because they're like, oh, crap, we killed the guy with a BB gun. Oh, I can't locate it anywhere.
They're still processing the crime scene back there. Again, as we're able to go inside the theater, look around, and completely process it, we'll know more.
What is the challenge in identifying the suspect? Do you not have an ID on him, or what?
He has an ID on him, but we want to make sure that through fingerprints and other identification that we can exactly confirm his identity before we release it and before we notify the family.
Chief, can you describe what he was doing to the patrons in there at this time? Best as you know, when the officer walked in, what had he done to those patrons? How was he threatening them?
You know, at this time, we are interviewing the patrons of the theater, and we'll find out more. But we know at least that he used the axe in some threatening manner, actually striking one individual, and was pepper spraying people.
So at this point, he was just pepper spraying. But I even doubt it was pepper spray other than just some red dye.
He had 2 backpacks on him. The one that remained on his person had what you might term a hoax device.
Now, this is interesting. This is very early, before the public information officer is reading off the script, and he says this was what we call a hoax device. Really, are these cops qualified to make that kind of statement? A hoax device?
But it also begs the question that if a guy's strapped to a huge bomb on his chest, why would you shoot at him?
And a very good question, John. Very good question. There was a second backpack.
It was a device configured to look like an explosive. It was not. The backpack inside had nothing in it that was harmful in any manner.
Oh, okay. Which they had the bomb squad, etc. Now, what I found conveniently coincidental, you'll recall that we played a clip a couple of shows ago, the last active shooter scenario in the movie theater, that AMC theaters were playing some kind of promo to tell people what to do in case of an active shooter. I still have not been able to get an actual copy of this, but they have it may be the same one, but they have at least one other promo that is running, and this is being turned into law so far in Ohio and Missouri, I think, that you can be arrested if you are in the theater with a recording device. And the promo is all about how people recording movies in the theater and putting them online is stealing from the industry. And in fact, there was one theater.
Yeah, we really do. All of us out here in the middle of nowhere just love to download cam movies.
They're so
high definition 3D films.
They're so good. They're so good
because they're they're the pure substitute for going to the theater.
So let's just look at this convenient fact. Of course, we know we're going to have all kinds of screening devices in front of theaters now. You can just wait for it. Again, there's already 2 laws now. Now, these laws are the laws are not for screening people for firearms. They're screening them for recording devices. And I think if we get one more active shooter, and remember these guys are crazy. Unfortunately, this kid, 29-year-old kid.
Okay, yeah, I think this is a 10. You're right.
You know what?
That's exactly what they're doing.
So whether it's being done purposely or after the fact, I don't know. But what is one crazy kid in the scheme of billions of dollars of lost revenue?
Just gun him down.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. But the real problem here.
He's nuts anyway.
We do not need a war on guns or war on ammo. We need a war on these shitty drugs we're giving to people.
Well,
shitty ass drugs that are supposed to stop depression. They're making people suicidal and homicidal.
Let's stay with this theme.
Okay.
And move right on to the next story. The handcuffed kid story.
I love this.
There is new fallout tonight from a tape that has sparked outrage across the country. The family of an 8-year-old boy has filed a lawsuit against a local sheriff's department after video emerged of that boy being handcuffed behind his back at school. Now, an uproar and calls for change at schools nationwide, as NBC's Rahema Ellis reports.
It's a disturbing video. For 7 minutes, a young boy is heard crying as Kentucky Deputy Sheriff Kevin Sumner handcuffs the child's arms behind his back. The American Civil Liberties Union, which posted the video, says it was taken by staff at an elementary school in Covington, Kentucky. According to the ACLU, the 8-year-old boy who has ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, was shackled last November for disability-related difficulties.
I love the soundtrack in the back of this kid just freaking out.
Obeying his teacher.
You either behave the way you know you're supposed to, or you suffer the consequences.
The lawsuit charges the third grader's constitutional rights were violated.
For an 8-year-old kid to get handcuffed behind your back.
It's a good start.
By a big man like that, it was a terrifying experience, and it stayed with him.
Get ready for it, you little slavelet. This is what your life is going to be.
The lawsuit also alleges at another school, the same deputy sheriff handcuffed a 9-year-old girl who has ADHD. Tonight, the sheriff issued a statement saying the deputy...
Stop. I got to make a comment on this.
Right.
The first kid had ADHD.
Right.
But the way the newsreader portrays this, it's as though the other girl had something else. It's like, it's just a very subtle thing. But it's as though there are more complications than ADHD.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, and that first boy with that, this one had ADHD.
HDMI.
Had ADHD.
This kid had HDMI, and boy, is he in trouble. Now, this kid, of course, was on some kind of drugs.
Yeah, but finish this clip so I got a couple of comments.
Handcuffed a 9-year-old girl who has ADHD. Tonight, the sheriff issued a statement.
Oh, that is subtle. I hear what you're saying. ADHD versus ADHD.
Yeah, to make it seem more...
Oh, my God. You don't have ADHD, do you?
At another school, the same deputy sheriff handcuffed a 9-year-old girl who has ADHD. Tonight, the sheriff issued a statement saying the deputy acted in conformity with the law and all the facts have not yet been presented. He went on to say, I steadfastly stand behind Deputy Sumner. Are you surprised by what happened in Kentucky?
I am not surprised by what happened in Kentucky.
Okay, stop. Okay, now this little part here where this woman asks, are you surprised what happened in Kentucky? This is a different set. This is strange to me. This story seems to be a package that has been put together and passed around.
And just add in your local flavor?
Because this particular scene where this guy he's in a big something I've never seen on NBC Nightly News. He's in a box with a big screen. She is sitting behind a desk.
Mm-hmm.
As though she's a news announcer, an anchor or something.
But there's nothing in the background?
No, it looks like a set. The whole thing's like some sort of a news
right, but
set.
There's no station identifiers in the background?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
She is just sitting on this desk, and she's asking this guy in this window what he thinks. He says absolutely nothing, and it's obviously edited, so it just kind of ends abruptly. Uh-huh. It's not even well integrated into the NBC presentation at all, and they cut him off. and then they go into a couple of stats, and they move on to the next story. But something's up. And when I saw this woman, I've never seen her before. She's giving us the presentation, but then we can continue it to the end.
Not surprised by what happened in Kentucky. This is a rather well-kept secret, especially for those who aren't knowledgeable about what goes on in public schools.
In 2009, the GAO published a nationwide study documenting hundreds of alleged incidents of restraint, including 20 incidents causing death. All involved children with disabilities. Now it's up to a federal court to decide if what happened in Kentucky was legal. Rahima Ellis, NBC News, New York.
Shut up, slave. Stai zitto, schiavo.
Now CNN had a slightly different take, but it was, again, part of this, whatever scheme is going on. And they also dropped a bomb into the middle of it. She did at the end saying 20 kids were killed, which was, I thought, was the kind of the bomb there. And they also showed in the visuals, they showed a bunch of these reports flying by on the screen, kind of like an old movie that shows the date changing by the clock spinning. And so play the CNN report.
He is a child, just 8 years old, cuffed at the upper arms by a deputy, the school resource officer.
Wait a minute. Isn't the school resource officer armed with a weapon usually?
Yeah.
So there's an armed guard handcuffing the kid.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
And by the way, this now I'm hearing this part of it, and hearing that, because as you mentioned, that kid squawking, and they have the exact same soundtrack here. This whole thing may be orchestrated by the ACLU, looking for a big payday.
Oh, possible, yeah. Class action?
I don't know.
Now, this was a public school, or was it a charter school?
No, it's a public school.
All right. Oh, you have to close public schools and put charter schools in.
They got to be shut down.
Yeah.
Behave the way you know you're supposed to, or you suffer the consequences.
Shocking and heartbreaking, but not the only time a child has been put in handcuffs. In Tecumseh, Oklahoma, this police officer's body camera captures his exchange with this 9-year-old boy, handcuffed after the police say he threatened school staff. Investigations by the police department and the FBI found the officer acted appropriately. In Stone Mountain, Georgia, a 6-year-old handcuffed by the school officer after the school says he was violent and a danger to himself and others. Across the country, U.S. Department of Education data shows in the 2011 to 2012 school year, more than 70,000 students were physically restrained during school. 75% of those restrained were students with disabilities.
Calm down.
Oh, fantastic.
That little clip at the end's in everything. Yeah. Calm down as she screams.
Hold on a second. I should probably ISO that.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah, that's good.
Just calm down and then the scream.
Hold on. Let me just ISO that right now. That's really good. Hold on. What is this? Okay, I got it here. And then this is so good. Hold on. I love this new program. These Rogue Amoeba guys, you ever hear of this company?
No.
Rogue Amoeba, they do, hold on, calm down, scream. They make Audio Hijack Pro.
Oh, yeah, I know. I remember. I don't have it, but I remember that program.
Yeah, and they just released a new version, which it's no longer called Pro, it's just Audio Hijack. It's so good.
Huh.
Oh, the interface is stunning. I actually tweeted a picture of the interface. I liked it so much.
Yeah, I saw it. You're tweeting promotions.
Yeah. Well, a product I pay for. So
it's true. It's true endorsement. Something we cannot do honestly.
Calm down.
Oh shit! I got to clip the last bit off.
Clip the little piece off the end.
So they have this other product called Fission.
Yeah,
Fission, and it's just a down and dirty quick editing product. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Let me see. I think I got it now. And you can edit things so quickly and so efficiently.
Calm down.
Yeah, perfect.
Calm down.
Oh, well.
Now, back to the story.
Yeah.
This is, for one thing, they're couple of points everybody makes, and I've seen the story on Democracy Now!, NBC, ABC, CBS. It's everywhere. And even though it's kind of a localized story, except for the 70,000 kids, which makes it sound like, hey, you've been overlooking this story for a long time.
Right.
And that was 70,000 kids restrained with handcuffs or
who have
tied up.
That's just who have disabilities.
And that was in 2012, 1 year.
Yeah.
But the disabilities thing is a red herring because by disabilities, they mean everybody. This is these kids were disabled because they had ADHD.
Right.
So every kid is, I would say that.
They're all sick.
By today's standards, everybody's sick and they're disabled and they need drugs.
Yes.
This is this reverse of what we keep what we keep pointing out is that drugs are causing this, which is probably the case, but this sounds to me that this is being set up to get more drugs. If these kids had drugs.
Yes.
Because there's no mention of the drug angle in a negative way.
This is so disheartening.
It's sick.
Just take your medicine. Just take your medicine.
That's right. They should play that at the beginning of every class. All right, class, let's take your meds. You don't want to get handcuffed, do you? Yeah, we don't want to have to handcuff your son. So we suggest you put him on this lovely drug called Ritalin. It'll make him calm. He'll be a good boy.
There you have it.
Makes me sad.
It's what's going on.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about it in my mind anyway, because what else would you be doing these packages that are just aimed at getting kids on, they're all disabled.
I think I can claim a victory on the prediction that Cecil the lion would be misused and abused for political ends to make Donald Trump look like an asshole. Everywhere now I see pictures of his sons and they're comparing him to.
No, I think you nailed it. I don't know if that was a prediction or an observation.
It was the first thing I said.
Yeah, it was the first thing you said, and 10 minutes later, it was happening.
Well, look, I don't control the timing of it.
I think we should have a time limit.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be at least a day. Out a little further. Okay, 5 seconds.
All right.
I think you're right. You're the only one who did that. Of all the commentators I've ever heard that figured it out, and I don't even think half of them figured it out yet.
Well, it gets better. Well, first, a couple of follow-up articles. New York Times had a pretty good article from some guy who grew up in Zimbabwe, and the title of it is, in Zimbabwe, we don't cry for lions. And, he's saying we were terrorized by them for months, and they were eating up kids, and then finally, we killed the lion, and we were all happy, and I do not understand this at all. We do not like lions at all. And then I see this dentist's home, which has been, quote-unquote, vandalized, and it's so, it's a mind bender to see someone spray painted on his garage, "Lion Killer," which here in America is deemed to be a horrible thing. In Zimbabwe, you're carried as a hero if you kill the lion. It's just crazy.
It's nuts.
U.S. Airlines now banning the shipment of hunting trophies, which sounds like just a PR move, you sad fuckers. Delta, United, American, we won't transport them anymore. What? Now everyone's going to fly your airlines because you're so politically correct? I'm boycotting you. And then...
That's easy for you to do.
Then the report that is really custom tailored for John C. Dvorak.
Some of the outrage over the killing of Cecil the African lion has been channeled into saving threatened species. In 1 week, nearly $860,000 has been raised for a group that protects lions in Zimbabwe. More will come from sales of a new Cecil Beanie Baby.
That's what we need. A Beanie Baby.
Dingo, boom, boom, chakalaka, boom, 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 chakalaka, boom, boom.
That'll help.
I saw that Beanie Baby and I want one.
You can put it next to your Barney collection. It's going to be fantastic.
I don't have a Barney collection. I got the one Barney doll, but I do have a couple of extremely rare.
How many views on your Barney YouTube channel?
I don't know, 1 million, 2 million, something like that.
But I thought you were really proud of that. You were tracking it.
Yeah, well, I don't go to it that much. I only use it when I want to gloat. Because if you look at this video, go to Dvorak Uncensored. That's my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And you look at this video of the Barney. I got 3 Barney videos on there. The two of them got decent numbers, but there's one for some unknown reason got picked up somewhere, and it's like a permanent link somewhere, and people keep pounding on. It is so stupid. that it just shows you how dumb YouTube is.
I love it. Well, I think this flows into, because obviously this Cecil the Lion thing is just a big distraction. They're still covering this. Goes on and on and on, and it is.
I like the fact that he has the name Cecil.
Yeah, and of course it detracts from other interesting news items. And I'm following this because the mainstream media really is not doing it. And it's interesting. It's just fascinating to me to see the long form videos of Planned Parenthood. It's mind boggling. They're much better than the edited versions. And I wanted to play
the heavily edited version.
Yeah, here's the executive vice president of Planned Parenthood on, I think, CNN. Her name is this is Dawn Laguens. We've played her before. And she is rolling out she's lying. She's just lying, and I can prove it.
It was these videos, these controversial videos, that sparked this latest round on Capitol Hill. I know that you believe that the videos are deceptively edited.
There's the beginning. By the way, the effort to defund Planned Parenthood failed in the Senate. But it's all about and if this is their only defense, these guys are in trouble.
However, on this group's website, the group that produced the videos, they say that they have put them in their entirety, unedited, on the website. And in fact, they've released transcripts that they say are the full entirety of the transactions that transpired.
That's actually not a fact. And since we know that for years this has been a strategy to deceptively edit in inflammatory ways these kinds of videos, put them out, claim that they've put out the full tape.
Ron, I want to get back to the...
Okay, stop for 1 second. I visit this website before every show just to see if there's a new video. There is a new video, a fifth video, and the full-length videos are available. There's links right on the same page to YouTube. They've uploaded them all to YouTube. And, John, you saw one or two of these, I think, right?
Yeah.
In full length, these are dynamite. This is much better than the deceptively, dishonestly taken out of context edited videos.
The videos for a second, because it does appear from the snippets that have been seen in the public as though something unscrupulous is happening. And I just want to play. It's very short. It's just a 6-second clip that sort of captures the essence of what people believe these videos represent. That's where they're talking about the sale or the compensation for fetal tissue. And she says if they can do a little better than break even, and if it seems reasonable, they're happy to do that. How do you explain what's happening?
We don't know exactly what she was responding to.
Oh, yeah. You can see exactly what she's responding to.
So she's making the claim, and this group is making the claim, which I guess a lot of people bought into.
Yeah.
Amy Goodman, one of them, that they edited to the point where, hey, Adam, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm going to breakfast.
Hate Jews. Right.
And then you cut something out, and you mix and match. You ask a question.
Down with the black man.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what they're claiming.
Yes, and it's not true. It is not true. Now, I want to play a piece from the latest video, which is not highlighted in any of the deceptively edited, dishonest videos. This is one of the undercover reporters from Center for Medical Progress. And she goes in and she wants to terminate her pregnancy because of gender. She says, I don't know if she says what gender it is, but she says, I want to terminate it. And she has a conversation with the lady, and I've heard this from medical professionals. They always steer towards termination. From people who have been there, they say, we're kind of pushing that a little bit. Just listen to this conversation with the nurse who was doing the intake of this patient who wants to abort based on gender, which is illegal. The Planned Parenthood, no one may perform an abortion based on race or gender, i.e., I've got a black baby in my tummy, or I've got a white baby in my tummy, or a yellow baby, red baby, fill in the beanie baby. And it's a girl, I want a boy, so get rid of it. And then that was a great setup. Here we go.
We support millions of people as they build their futures.
Wait a minute. What is this?
I love it when you get this setup.
I hate this. What happened to my edit?
Gender.
Oh, okay. I'll roll it back.
Okay, you're set up. We're ready to go.
Sorry.
Right. Because of the gender.
Like I said, because don't tell us that. We don't want to know, because one of the things on here says,
I didn't see what.
Yeah, it says that you are not doing this because of race or sex.
I initialed everything without reading.
Okay. So what she says is, she already initialed everything on the intake form
without reading.
And she said, I didn't realize I can't do this based on gender. She says, that's okay. Don't worry about it. That's fine.
That's fine. That's better because.
Okay.
There's
so I just shouldn't say that anymore.
Yeah, don't say that.
Wait, why?
Because state law says we cannot do a termination on somebody just because of race and gender.
That's crazy that they're making a law that's saying that I can't terminate and decide what gender I want.
Yeah, well, they're telling us that we can't do that.
Okay, so at least she's stating the fact we can't do that, but just don't talk about it, or better yet,
the doctor cannot do the procedure, just determine on sex and race. Yeah.
Okay, so I just shouldn't say it anymore.
You just have to put your name in there when and if you decide you're going to come in and have the procedure. I mean, you can tell her. She's going to tell you the same thing. Just don't let it be known.
Okay.
Yeah, she's really good about that. You'll like her.
So you can tell the doctor, but just don't let it be known anywhere else. The doctor's okay with this kind of stuff.
Okay. I've worked in the field for 35 years. I've seen everything.
So you've seen other girls based off of gender?
Oh yeah, lots of girls. Oh yeah, lots of them. Oh yeah.
The doctor will be fine about it.
It's scathing.
Yeah.
She's okay. Hey, she's really cool.
The doctor's really cool. She'll understand.
Some of these laws are put in place for a reason. That being one of them. You can't start genetically engineering your family, but based on sex. Which in India they bear a girl and they kill her.
Yeah,
not an uncommon practice, and this is very barbaric. Now, what this indicates, of course, is, and I wouldn't like to take sides on this, but but you have to. And these guys are obviously breaking the law left and right.
Yeah.
The safeguards have been put in place. They're ignoring them. In fact, they're flouting them, not flaunting, flouting. And it's just it's outrageous. And then they're defending it based on the heavily edited. And people like Amy Goodman,
but John,
Tom Hartman, the rest of them, they're all.
But what kind of crisis management team do you have? You're Planned Parenthood. You have at least $500 million. Whatever else you're making,
that's federal funds,
right? And whatever else you're making on baby parts. And the best you can come up with is to say, this is dishonestly edited. And any journalist, even the woman who was interviewing the EVP, it didn't sound like she went to take a look at the videos. I mean, this is rampant, where to get around the lie that these videos are deceptively edited, I didn't watch them. I can't watch. It's like the beheading videos. Who wants to watch that? Here's Josh Earnest. And I think Jake Tapper from CNN did a pretty good job.
The Senate, as you know, is going ahead with a vote to try and defund Planned Parenthood. The White House has threatened to veto any measure like that.
That's right.
Is it your contention that there's nothing in these secretly recorded videotapes of Planned Parenthood officials discussing what sounds like profiting from fetal tissue and organ sales? There's nothing in these tapes that bothers you?
This is also becoming a red herring, focusing only on that and not on this clearly illegal practice of coercing a woman who signed and perjured herself and lied about wanting this for gender, and just letting it go and not saying, I'm sorry, we really can't help you. That's not okay. No, that is pretty big.
When anyone in the White House?
Well, Jake, I got to tell you, these videos were released because of their shock value. And there's no doubt that what's depicted on these videos is shocking. I know that based on the news reports that I've read about the videos. I haven't actually looked at them. But people who have looked at them have raised significant questions about whether or not these videos are credible, about whether or not they've been selectively edited in a way to grossly distort the position and the policies.
So the White House is on board with this. I didn't see it, but I've read reports they're deceptively edited. And of course, this is, these guys are extremists, they're terrorists. So it has to be true.
This is pathetic.
Where that everyone's sitting around, huddled around the computer going, oh my God, this is messed up. Everyone's done it.
Planned Parenthood. And if you consider the source,
the whole video is put up on the website of this anti-abortion group that put them out. I mean, you don't have to watch just the edited version. You can watch the whole version.
Oh, that would require work.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Yeah. Okay, shut up.
I'm relying on news reports that I've seen of people who've taken a look at this and raised questions about the videos themselves. And there's no doubt that this is an organization that has targeted Planned Parenthood for some time. So they clearly have an ideological axe to grind. What we know to be true is that...
What's that?
I said apparently for good reason.
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood provides regular health care for millions of Americans across the country. And Planned Parenthood is not able to use federal funds to perform abortions. That is written into the rules. That is a rule that this administration has not just followed, but actually supported. So it's clear...
I like that statement. It's not just a rule that it is followed, but also supported. Should it be the other way around?
Written into the rules, that is a rule that this administration has not just followed, but actually supported. So it's clear that there are some ideological games that are being played here. And what this administration, this president, has long fought for is protecting access for women to health care. And that's exactly why we want to make sure that there is not an ideological effort to wholesale defund of Planned Parenthood.
Oops, ideological. There we go. Crazy Republicans who are religious. Woohoo! Ideology.
That provides those important health care services to women all across the country.
Well, somebody at the White House should maybe watch the videos in full.
Okay,
nice comment.
It was a throwaway line, but at least he said it. And then the final clip I have is of an actual doctor, Ben Carson, who will be on the debate tonight, the Republicans' debate. And Ben is I think he was the first to successfully separate conjoined twins. He's no slouch.
No, he's famous, very famous doctor.
Though he comes across as a bit of
he's a dud.
Come
on, let's get a clue.
Now he said something really, really fascinating.
Well, I know you oppose legal abortion, but what's your response to Ms. Legance?
Interesting framing as well. But I know you oppose legal abortion. What he doesn't oppose illegal abortion? That's okay. I mean, coat hangers are good in his book. No, Jake Tapper. No.
Well, I know you oppose legal abortion, but what's your response to Ms. Legance?
Stop a second. That the way he phrased that is to imply it's an implication question.
Yes,
where you imply that that there's a baggage with that question.
Yeah, a payload.
Hey, the law's been passed years ago that abortion's legal.
Yeah. It's a loaded question.
You don't like the law.
It's a loaded question.
Well, I know you oppose legal abortion, but what's your response to Ms. Legance?
My response would be that all of the services that she mentioned are available through multiple other sources. And to take an organization that not only makes money by selling baby parts, but doesn't seem to understand the sanctity of human life, and is willing to destroy that. An organization whose founder believed in eugenics.
You're talking about Margaret Sanger.
Yes, and even
but I like that he brings in the eugenics and Tapper goes, "Oh yeah, Margaret Sanger. We know she liked to kill. She liked to kill black people and didn't want black people to reproduce. Certainly not with white people. That would be horrible. This is what the Eugenics Society was all about." And he just, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we remember that. We know the genesis of this organization. Yeah, it's killing people.
Whose founder believed in eugenics.
You're talking about Margaret Sanger.
Yeah. Yes, and even the plurality of their clinics are in minority communities.
Mm-hmm. Well, doesn't that make the argument that they would make, which is that the services that you're talking about, forget abortion for a second, but the services you're talking about are not available everywhere, and that's where minorities and people who are lower income get mammograms and treatment for STDs and birth control.
They don't do mammograms.
I thought that they were supposed to be able to get all of those things based on Obamacare. Why do we need Planned Parenthood?
Yeah.
Oh, nice one.
That's a good little question. Why isn't that Obamacare?
See, this is the problem with this guy. He's too dry.
Yeah.
He's too dry. That was great. That's just giving it to you. That's a sucker punch.
Sucker punch?
Yeah. He said to him, Tapper up for that.
Right.
Because he said a few things. Tapper fell into the trap, and then he nailed him with the Obamacare.
Right.
I thought it was outstanding.
The president.
They don't do mammograms.
They don't?
No. There was a big scene on one of the shows I was listening to, going on and on about what they do and what they don't do. They don't do that much.
The president also weighed in on this issue.
No.
Is that Goofy?
That's the buzzard.
Oh, the buzzard, right.
We got so many new Obama submissions, John.
No, we do?
I just have to play one for you. I play one every quarter hour on the quarter hour here on Z100. Better version. Got a lot of submissions of the chicken dance, which a lot of people like, and there was a new one. Let me see. This was, and that was Kevin Reeves, by the way, who's a professional musician. That's why his turned out pretty good. And here's his second one. And then
right, I just remembered that song.
And then one was kind of off the wall, but interesting.
And the winner.
You're in my house. You're in my house. Hey, you're in my house. Come on. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna wait till we get this done. When you drink the booze in my house. I am getting. I'm just gonna take you to somebody. Yeah. Take you out. You know what I'm saying? Come on, guys.
Humanity is going interstellar.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, that's always been a great bed for songs.
Yeah.
Can't touch this.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
actually, what is the Genesis? What is that original song that was, what's his name?
MC Hammer.
No, before that where it was ripped off from. The bass.
Rick James.
Yeah, Rick James and what?
Super Freak.
She's
a very kinky girl. Right. The kind you don't take home to mother. Yeah, exactly. Well, with that, John, I think I should...
What a rendition. With that...
I should thank you for your courage and say in the morning to you, John C. Dvorak.
No, in the morning to you, Adam Curry. Also in the morning, all chips at sea, boots on the ground, feet in the air, subs in the water, and all the dames and nights out there.
In the morning to everyone in the chat room, noagendastream.com. Good to have you all on board, as usual. In the morning to 20-watt bulb. Beautiful piece of art for episode 744.
Yeah, that may be art of the year.
Now... let me just take a look at it. The episode was, of course, Toxic Speech.
Which actually played into the toxic art.
Right. Which had espionage and blackmail. It was almost like a retro piece. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was dynamite.
Yeah, good piece. And you can find all of the submissions or submit your own art at noagendaartgenerator.com. We need as much as we can get. It's been kind of slim pickings.
A couple of weeks ago, we had like 3 submissions, and we had to dig to find something.
It's been
deep
slim
into
pickings.
the archives.
It's been slim pickings here and there for sure. So we do.
The last show was a lot of stuff, and there was maybe 2 or 3 good pieces.
Yeah, we need as much help as we can get because good album art always begets better support for the show. I don't know why, but just I don't fight it.
Well, that wasn't the case this week.
Oh, there goes my theory.
Nice try.
That's my theory.
We ended up with one executive producer and one associate executive producer, and that was that. So we have a short segment here. Sir Bernie Adama, I believe that's the way it's pronounced.
Adama or Atima? No, Adama. I think you're right.
I think we were pronouncing it Atima, and then he said Adama.
Right.
But it could be Atima. Anyway, Sir Bernie's in Hinton, Iowa. 333. This donation completes my second knighthood, but I wish to confer the knighthood upon my son, John, to be Sir John Atima, or Adama. Uh-huh. He hit me in the mouth a few years ago and continues to hit others.
Yeah.
I wonder what people just tuning into the show think when we read stuff like that.
Those guys are crazy. They're hitting everybody in the mouth. That's a strange way to get listeners.
In addition, yesterday, August 4th, was his 33rd birthday. Wow. So please give him a shout out and both Obama a no chicken dances, please.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them. He wants both of them. We're going to probably play a bunch of stuff today.
I'll just play, since we already played 2, I'm going to play the original one. And we'll play more.
Okay. Happy birthday, son. Love you. Keep up the great work, Adam and John. Sir Bernie.
Oh, very nice. About the history of that song in Belgium?
No, you never told me that.
So when I was back when I was on the radio and television in the Netherlands, we do shows, like drive-in shows. These days, DJs make millions of dollars, go spin records, don't talk. We would go there, spin records and talk, and we'd make like hundreds of dollars. Woo! And in Belgium was always fun because you could go, and there's this one. It was a club. It was a disco. It was a big one. They had 500 people on the dance floor, and you were way up high. It was a cool place to gig. But I learned that the Belgians have a culture. You could be you could be in the hardest hardcore house record, but then all of a sudden you play the chicken dance, and then everyone stops dancing like crazy, and all the boys and girls equally, they kind of mush together in like a big mosh pit, but they're not moshing. They're kind of rubbing up against each other. And then they find someone they're going to dance with after that, and then you play a slow jam, and then everyone's like, slow dancing and making out. It's the weirdest thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, you've never told that story.
Yeah.
Strange cultural stories as told by Adam Curry.
On the quarter hour, on the 8s.
On the 8s. Matthew Hamilton is our associate executive producer for show 745, 26854 in Fairplay, Maryland. I'd like to start this note off by wishing all the hardworking dudes named Ben a belated happy Sysadmin Day on June 31st, which we did celebrate.
We celebrated.
I'm an 18-year-old aspiring to work as a security penetration tester. It's been my dream from age 9. Wow.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Penetration tester.
Yeah. You want a date? As such, most of my time is devoted to self-learning and capture the flag competitions. For the listeners who don't know, CTFs, Capture the Flags, are cybersecurity hacking puzzle competitions where you work as a team to score points by solving challenges within a limited time, usually 24 to 48 hours. I run the Reddit CTF team, open to all, which is the name applies, is open to all. Anyone who wants to get their feet wet and see what it's all about. Last December, we qualified and participated in the Seesaw finals and have to thank and have you to thank us.
You and I?
No agenda show during these competitions because it reminds me to keep thinking outside the box. After finishing my first cybersecurity contracting job, I knew I needed to donate. I hit my father in the mouth 2 years ago, and it has given us both something to bond over and laugh about. No douchebag call out necessary. His check should be on the way.
Okay.
Check's in the mail.
Yeah, it won't come in your mouth.
Shout out to Sir Ramsey Kane for putting together the DEF CON meetup. I was extremely excited and hope to meet my producers there. If anyone wants to chat me up, I'll be wearing a red Paranoid T-shirt on Saturday at the meetup, which was last week, wasn't it?
It's this week.
Oh, no, DEF CON's coming.
It's starting. It's starting.
Yeah, okay.
The girl who does spin class at noon, Adelaide, she is. I'm gonna retweet her. She is so cute. But she is the top salesperson for Alien. Was it Alienware?
Yeah, Alienware's a computer company.
Yeah, and so she's putting pictures on Facebook of her at DEF CON. This is the girl who teaches me spin.
Well, there you have it.
I'm telling you.
Small world. Ask if she has any review units available. Bonus points to any math buffs as Matthew continues. Bonus points to any math buffs who know where the donation number 268.54 comes from. Answer? Maybe we could leave the answer.
I don't think we should give the answer.
I'm not giving the answer.
268.54 comes from...
Comes from what?
Okay.
Tick, tick, tick.
I'll see
Jingle request. I love bugs and Batman. No.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I was paying attention to the...
You were thinking of that spin girl.
Yeah, I guess I was. Okay, I love bugs And then what else do we want?
Batman, no.
Batman, oh my goodness, hold on. And Karma?
Yeah, give him Karma, he needs it.
I love bugs! Bugs!
Tastes like poop.
I'm shocked to find bug eating going on in here.
You've got karma.
We should mention that the bug call out that was in the middle there by Ike, who does the I'm shocked. We did make an offer to anyone who wants to get a custom version of anything you want him to say for the pie donation of $314.15. And we've gotten no takers on this.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then this warrants this.
I'm shocked to find nobody wants to eat pie in here.
There you go. As we continue on this unrehearsed show.
Yes, completely. That's it.
With these slick little inserts.
That's it. With that we have.
And yeah, that's it. Two people.
Okay.
That happens.
It's disheartening.
But that's always happens after we have a lot of people, which we had on the other show before that.
Yes, okay, it's true. All right. Well, thank you very much to our sole executive producer and our sole associate executive producer. These credits are real. They're no different from any other producing credits you can get. The difference being that, unlike the douchebags in Hollywood, we will vouch for you if you put them on your LinkedIn and someone wants to know what they're about.
Dvorak.org/NA.
But please also be on the lookout for doing one simple task, propagating the formula.
Our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth.
Shut up, slave.
Shut up.
Fear is freedom. Subjugation is liberation. Contradiction is truth. Those are the facts of this world. And you will all surrender to them. You pigs in human clothing.
Woo! Yeah, little piglets. You pigs in human clothing. You pigs will be tied down. We're going to lock you up with handcuffs. Woo!
This is a drone update.
We don't have a jingle for that.
No, unfortunately.
Drone update.
Play the You Say 400. I just thought this was funny because the numbers were so funny.
Okay.
A report by the independent monitoring group Air Wars estimates U.S.-led airstrikes targeting ISIL in Iraq and Syria have killed at least 459 civilians since the bombings began about a year ago. The U.S.-led coalition has launched nearly 6,000 airstrikes in the two countries. Thus far, the U.S. has acknowledged its airstrikes have killed only 2 civilians.
Who cares? Just 2. Who gives a crap?
The logic of droning 6,000, sending 6,000 of these drones down to shoot people, and you've only killed 2 civilians is beyond. It's ridiculous. So who do they think we are? Stupid? You couldn't access. I mean, there's no way. How accurate can you be?
I was reading a report that there was this human rights, the big annual human rights report. And the State Department was delayed. It was delayed. It was like 100 days late. And by law, I think we played a clip. By law, it has to be made available on time. And it was delayed. Turns out the State Department was massaging it because the actual number of civilian casualties, I believe, off the top of my head, was 2,000. 2,000 innocent.
That sounds right, though. You said 6,000 shots?
Yeah, they get 2,000 going to be wrong.
Sending 6,000 bombs down.
Yeah.
Just randomly from some guy sitting in Nevada in a cargo container looking through a camera on a drone 20,000 feet in the air.
And nothing against them personally.
No, they're fine.
Personally.
I mean, but they got to do their jobs. And they say, shoot that guy. Okay. Pushes the button. It blows up a house.
Yeah.
And no civilians are ever killed. This is bull crap.
Yeah. Staying with the State Department and that reserve guy, the backup guy, I don't like him. So it's not Kirby.
He's terrible. That backup guy.
Yeah, the backup guy. So
he's like a redhead, or his name is Dumb or something.
No, he doesn't have a lot of hair actually.
Oh.
But the Russia Today girl.
I got the same clip.
About the
she goes in. Well, actually, I could get this a little more set up because that was going to be deeper into mine.
Tell me how you want to do it.
Well, I want to discuss what this is all about, which is the new sanctions, and that's what the Russia Today girl brings up.
We'll do your clips. I'm sure they're fine.
Thanks. Let's just play now. This what's happened is the UN decided. Well, Russia vetoed. The UN Security Council decided that this discussion of the downed airliner with the Dutch in it, who have the black box and nobody seems to want to talk about it. Somehow the United States, it seems, decided to embarrass the Russians as much as they could, which is all we're doing.
And they did that with the Malaysians. You'll recall on the last show, the Malaysians started this. Calling for the vote for the sanctions, and right after they did that, the Malaysians got a free pass on the TTIP.
Yeah, so we're
TPP,
behind this, and the reason
not us, John. You and I are not personally behind this.
No, we aren't. The U.S. State Department and the Department of Defense and anybody who wants Snowden is behind this. But let's play a couple of these clips. This is the UN Tribunal MH2 not set up to do. Okay. This is important.
Well, the plans for a tribunal included appointing a prosecutor to oversee the investigation. The prosecutor would review the findings of the joint investigation team. Right now, there are two branches to the official investigation into the crash, one technical and the other criminal. The cause of the tragedy is being looked into by the Dutch Safety Board. It's due to release its final report in October, and the joint investigation team is looking into who was responsible for the tragedy. Now, that probe will not be complete until next year. Lawyer Thomas Seaman told us that the calls for a tribunal have political motives.
For the UN Security Council to be setting up a tribunal is something that it's not really set up to do.
I wanted to mention one thing about the Dutch Safety Board.
Mm-hmm.
The Dutch Safety Board is being the boss of that safety board, the chief, whatever his title is Meester Pieter van Vollenhoven. And you recall that this is going back in the No Agenda archives. He is a prince. He's in the royal family by marriage. And he was the one way back in the day who was Patricia, wife number one.
Oh, the guy, the masher.
Yeah, he was mashing his hard-on up against her when they were doing a photo shoot. The masher.
The masher.
So this guy's not to be trusted, obviously.
No, they're probably pushing him around. That's why it's taking so long. I mean, if they do this right, I would guess that the Russians are going to be cleared because that's the only reason that the United States is all of a sudden pushing for this tribunal so we can blame the Russians.
Yeah.
What bothers me.
Well, they don't have the evidence. They don't have the evidence. The evidence is contrary to the Russians did it.
Yes, that's the problem, and they don't want that to come out. I am bothered on doing this show that the two of us have to constantly defend the Russians. Seriously. I mean, Russia Today does a decent job of it, but nobody pays any attention to anything anyone says. No. And everyone's all in on this. Let's sanction the Russians. Let's screw with the Russians. And anyone can look the dates up. This all began when the Russians gave sanctuary to Snowden. That's all this is about.
One of these days, we may be dead and gone, but it'll come out. It was all about Snowden.
Play the second UN tribunal on MH117.
Okay, that's actually the first clip, but we're playing that second. Right?
Well.
Explaining Moscow's position, the Russian ambassador to the UN said this is a criminal case and outside the UN's jurisdiction.
It was prepared behind the scenes, outside the UN Security Council, and without careful consideration of the various options for a criminal investigation.
Nice sound effect.
My experience with tribunals on the former Yugoslavia and Rwanda cannot be called positive. They were lengthy, expensive, and subject to political pressure.
I love this!
Calm down. It is difficult to explain how the events which a year ago were not deemed a threat to international peace and security have now, all of a sudden, become just that.
The draft resolution called for the international probe into the crash to be completed as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But security analyst Charles Shoebridge says that rushing the investigation would be counterproductive.
Investigation presumably is acting with due diligence. It doesn't want to be rushed into finding its conclusions only for more evidence to emerge later that may have to contradict those conclusions. And so therefore one imagines that if there is any concern that the investigation isn't proceeding diligently and efficiently, that there are better ways rather than publicly criticising it in this way than to exert pressure on it. But certainly nobody wants a rushed solution, a rushed conclusion that then turns out to be defective and can be challenged further down the line.
I got to tell you, this is the majority of the passengers were Dutch. And the Dutch, I follow the press. I read the language and I see what's going on. This is now more than a year past the event, and the Dutch have been promised full transparency. The bottom stone will be overturned. We'll figure this all out, and it's not happening. And the Dutch are just like, okay, all right then.
Yeah, it was an obvious shoot down by a Russian missile. It shouldn't have been that. Shouldn't be taking this long.
No. Well, they have no proof.
But so we want to rush it. I rushed some answer out there, and so this girl who I admire. Well, I forget you have her name. I think.
I don't.
Well, she is a
She's
real.
Cute. She's cute. She's cute.
She's very cute. She's a firecracker. She's on top of story. She presents very well, and she's somehow I don't know how she gets in there, but she's in the White House or State Department.
What is her name again?
Briefings. She's a very well, I guess, regarded journalist. So here she is. I think you have the same clip.
Probably.
Asking the obvious question and getting really no answer but bull crap.
Which clip is this?
Well, this would be the Moscow veto
more
sanctions.
The day after Moscow vetoed the UN resolution, the U.S. imposed extra sanctions on Russia over the Ukraine crisis. Washington insists the new restrictions are not related to the veto. The State Department said they're linked to the full implementation of the Minsk peace agreements in eastern Ukraine. RT's Gayneh Chichikyan was at the State Department briefing.
Gayneh Chichikyan.
What events on the ground in Ukraine have warranted such an update of sanctions?
Today's action is there's not new sanctions. This is
Kirby.
No, this is the other guy.
Oh, it is the other guy?
Designed to strengthen existing sanctions.
Why now? I mean, new names, new companies added to the list.
Again, no specific date or anniversary. It's just we do this all the time.
This way, 11 individuals were added to the list, as well as 15 Russian companies. The companies include several subsidiaries of a major Russian bank, Neshekanombank, and of Russia's oil giant, Rosneft. Both companies were already under sanctions. So we understand that this sanctions upgrade does not come as a response to any new events on the ground in Ukraine.
Of course, it's not routine. It's an action of hostility. The sanctions are linked to the very aggressive policy that the United States government has been carrying out in Ukraine.
Well, I had a whole different clip from her.
Oh, okay. Well, then we can go segue right into that. But I was looking at this is unbelievable lies. Because it was obviously the Russians threw a wrench in the work by vetoing the stupid idea. And we got mad. He had a hissy fit, put more sanctions on these bastards. And all they've really done to us over the years, because we're the ones who made the Ukraine thing happen, all they've done to us is grab Snowden.
I tell
That's
you,
it.
The only other bad thing Russia has done to me personally, besides grabbing Snowden, is making me eat that food that Sergin does on like the Russian Christmas.
Oh, I've had
at the Russia House. So there's some things that are good. I mean, I understand why vodka exists. You got to wash.
Yeah, that's the only way you wash some of this food.
Some of that stuff is disgusting.
No, I have
anything that pickled beets and egg and mayonnaise and herring.
Yeah, and the sweets are too sugary and they're all kind of gooey.
But I love the vodka.
Oh, big deal.
Here is
some of the best vodkas made in the United States, by the way. And I would recommend to vodka drinkers, at least try Reign.
Okay. Reign. Make it rain.
Reign is a fantastic product. It's made by Sazerac, which is a rye and whiskey maker. And they make a vodka that I think is just up there. And it's really inexpensive. But anyway, go on.
So I don't know if this is this. I think it's the same RT girl, but her question is about Syria. And specifically, she's going to ask about, she hounds the guy, so I just thought it was kind of cute to play that, about the authority to do what we're doing, which is protecting the rebels who are trying to kill ISIS in Syria or something like that. And it is, and I think we made a mistake. The no-fly zone is not there just yet, but it is going to happen. Well, listen to the clip, and then I'll explain with the no-fly zone and how it's going to be implemented.
I'm sorry, but this is a major shift in policy. It's one thing to go after ISIS. It's something else to attack forces that threaten the forces that go after ISIS. Do you have congressional approval for that? Are you going to seek congressional approval for that? Under what authorization are you doing that?
Whatever steps we took would be in close consultation with Congress.
Oh, I'm sorry, but why do you think you don't need a UN Security Council decision on this?
What's that? Why don't we think we need one?
You don't need one.
We're obviously in close consultations with the UN Security Council. Syria is a very complex situation. I've said this multiple times. We want to see ultimately a political solution to the situation in Syria. We've been very clear about that. In fact, the Secretary just met with both the Saudi foreign minister as well as the Russian foreign minister in Doha yesterday. And they talked about Syria.
Yes, but
and how to resolve the situation there. Let me finish.
Excuse me.
So we're clearly committed to working through the UN to bring about a political solution via the Geneva Communique to the situation in Syria. All we're talking about...
the United States is not a signatory on that, just as an aside.
...about right here is the fact that we would take defensive actions as needed to protect these forces that are fighting ISIL on the ground in northern Syria.
But you don't have a UN Security Council approval. You don't have congressional approval for that. Under what basis is the administration acting in this case?
Again, we're working with Congress on all these issues in close consultation with them, and I'll leave it at that.
No. But we have boots on the ground in Syria, in Damascus, Sub-70, who I've read his emails before, and I'm confident he is the real deal. I think he was attending university there, but that's become somewhat sketchy under the current circumstances. I'll just read his little note verbatim. It's about the no-fly zone. It's about what's going on right now, and I think it's well worth it because only the No Agenda Show can bring you this type of boots-on-the-ground analysis that is not filtered. In the morning, Adam and John, first of all, congratulations on your Hall of Fame award. Well, of course, thank you. But in the last show, you said there's now a no-fly zone in northern Syria. There's not such a thing just yet. The thing to notice is the sudden agreement between Turkey and the U.S. overnight and the change in the United States policy from supporting the Kurds to smashing them, most likely because the Syrian Kurds support the Syrian regime and the U.S. want an anti-Assad replacement for them in the north. Now, we know this to be true, that the Kurds are in northern Syria, in order to prepare for the creation of a buffer zone, which the Kurds, of course, would not allow. All this is happening within days from the first U.S. air raid in Syria to defend, quote, Pentagon-trained rebels. Let me tell you something about these rebels. The new name is Jaish al-Fateh. So we should be on the lookout. I know it's not a catchy name, but I don't know what this is not, an Omnicom company that came up with this, Jaish al-Fateh, but it consists of Jabhat al-Nusra in northern Syria, Ahrar al-Sham, and the remaining fragments of the Free Syrian Army. Sure, they'll be fighting ISIS. He says, here's how the no-fly zone is going to work. The rebels, quote unquote, will attack the Syrian army. Then we wait for the Syrian army to respond. Then we attack the Syrian army from the air and establish a no-fly zone. So that seems to be the playbook here.
Oh, the no-fly zone, even though the American public's been led to believe it's to keep the ISIS Air Force, which doesn't exist,
flying Toyotas,
from flying around there. It's actually to keep the Syrian Air Force from getting into the
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. That would actually make sense now that you think about it. It's a logical thing.
Mm-hmm. And while we're on that...
While we're staying with that, I have a backup clip.
Okay.
That kind of fits into this.
All right.
This is a very interesting clip because this involves Richard Engel.
Oh, the liar who made the Russians look bad by pretending during the Sochi Olympics, and he wasn't even in Sochi, he was in Moscow, that the minute he turned on his, was it cell phone or laptop, that it was hacked immediately by the Russians. A lying sack. And Engel, who has received many journalistic awards, a liar.
And Engel's the guy who was on board with condemning Feinstein for releasing that CIA report.
Well,
as if he has an opinion, but he came in anyway and said, well, it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's Engel reporting on ISIS and Turkey. It's a long report, but it's got a piece of information in there that's a real head-scratcher.
And her head is gone.
Called a potential game-changer in the war against ISIS, the ability to launch U.S. and allied airstrikes, fighter jets, not just unmanned drones, from bases a lot closer to ISIS positions. And it could start very soon. Our chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel, has more.
The U.S.-led air war against ISIS is about to get a lot more intense, with U.S. fighter jets soon able to take off from a key airbase much closer to the fight. NBC News has learned that Incirlik Air Base in southern Turkey should be ready in 2 to 3 weeks. A major ramp-up is now underway, with weapons, ammunition, and communications equipment on their way, including a mid-air refueling system and, critically, search and rescue capability for pilots in distress. It's a new phase of cooperation with Turkey, and U.S. officials say it could transform the air war against ISIS. For a year, the U.S. has flown missions against ISIS from the Persian Gulf, hundreds of miles away. Incirlik and other bases in Turkey are far closer, putting ISIS targets in the crosshairs. Towns like Raqqa and Jarablus, which sits so close to the Turkish border. Today, you can see both the ISIS flag and the Turkish flag, just a stone's throw apart.
After turning a blind eye to ISIS, Turkey is now finally reinforcing its border, bringing in extra troops, digging trenches, even erecting berms. The military here is clearly preparing for a fight.
What's a berm?
I don't know. A berm's like a hill.
Oh.
And if ISIS retaliates against Turkey's new cooperation with the U.S., it's a fight they're likely to get. Richard Engel, NBC News, on the Turkish-Syrian border.
WLIE. Yeah, nice.
Well, I was listening to this going, what is wrong with this report? Well, I mean, we got our foothold in Turkey, which I think was some sort of a goal.
Right.
And so whatever happened that predates that was probably a scam. And then I realized, what is this point of this flying from the Persian Gulf? If you were in the Mediterranean, you'd be closer than you would be at that base. You'd be right out. You could be, 40 miles away from these targets.
Yeah, why aren't they flying from Jordan?
Well, they could do that too. But they're talking about I'm talking about the aircraft carrier itself. It could be closer than anything. But it's sitting over there in the Persian Gulf. The one we're talking about, I found a great website for people. Mm-hmm. Look up, it's just a Google search. Aircraft carrier location. It's a Japanese site. That, I think it's an espionage site. It's got every location of every aircraft carrier. The Theodore Roosevelt is the one he's talking about, and it's been in the Persian Gulf since, looks like April, maybe. Mm-hmm. It relieved the Carl Vinson, and then in the Gulf of Oman, and moved to the Persian Gulf in April. And then went to the Strait of Hormuz, the North Arabian Sea, transited the Gulf of Hormuz, went to the Persian Gulf. Right. It's been sitting outside of Bahrain in port, spending a lot of time there. Then it moved over to the United Arab Emirates, Jebel Ali, and now it's back to Bahrain partying. So
yeah, woo!
So they're sending their stuff from there. This whole thing is just the media is feeding us lies.
Well, they don't even understand. They can't even point to the Kurds on the map. And we discussed the buffer zone. That Turkey is completely complicit in this. And ultimately, it's just a way to create a reason that has the right optics for us to bomb the crap out of Assad and Syria so we can take over that region. So we're trying to, of course, Russia and Iran both have a stake in that. In Syria. The Iranians, we've got our deal with them. I think we're going to be okay. But then over on the Russian side, we've got to make Russia look like bigger a-holes. Just keep going at it. So eventually people will just say, Yeah, man. We should maybe even bomb Russia. Preemptive strike.
Yeah,
Go for
would be the kind of mania that's created for one reason only.
Here it is.
Snowden.
Putin! Yeah, Snowden. Why don't they just give him back?
Well,
put him on a plane and
I don't know why we just don't give him some sort of, because he won't get a fair trial. That's the problem.
Right, but just think about the PR value. If Vladimir put Snowden on a plane in handcuffs and a hood over his head, to make it even better, so it wouldn't have to be him, and flew to Newark Liberty Airport and said, "Here you go," open up the door, kick the fucker out, get the bitch out. That would be the biggest PR move ever. And then Putin would go, now what? Now what do you want to do? Am I a good guy or what?
Well, the problem is he's not going to do that.
Well,
he's got to get him out of Russia, though. He knows this is a problem. He's got to, because he wanted to go to Ecuador, find a way, sneak him. The Russians have got spycraft going on. Grow a beard, buff up a little bit, dye your hair blonde, get a phony passport, and go to Ecuador. Get him out of Russia.
And fix the nose pad on your glasses. That's a tell. It's a giveaway. You got to stop doing that.
No, they're not doing anything. So the whole thing, it's just, it's ruining the world.
Well, they're
going to kill it. You end up killing us all.
Really?
So.
Yeah.
I thought,
all gonna die. Sorry?
All gonna die.
Yeah.
I have a couple of clips if you want to listen to something a little different.
Well, I wanted to finish with one clip.
Finish because I got to.
Yeah, this is just from the Caliphate files. The master bomber, the Al-Qaeda master bomber, has apparently blown his cover. I think this all comes to us.
How do you blow your cover in this business?
Well, this comes to us obviously from the Site Intelligence Group, with the only people who seem to have all the beheading videos, and they have everything. And they're a private group. You can't just go to their website and get information because you have to pay for it. And they are paid by the Pentagon to deliver these, very coincidental videos and so-called jihadist websites, and they never have a link to the jihadist website. But the master bomb maker blew his cover.
He's known to operate in the shadows.
In the shadows.
A master bomb maker.
Master bomb maker.
On the run. But Ibrahim al-Asiri seems to have broken his cover to write an article. He disputes an Al Jazeera documentary which alleged that al-Asiri's group, Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, sometimes colluded with a former Yemeni president. Quote, "Are all of us spies?" wrote a person believed to be al-Asiri. Analysts say al-Asiri may have just let his ego get the best of him and is taking a huge risk.
He thinks that he needs to sort of...
These are all consultants who we'll be talking. All consultants for different think tanks.
Correct the record here, but quite extraordinary that he's doing this given he's basically the most hunted man on Earth.
Oh, really? Is he still the most hunted man on Earth? The master bomb maker?
I didn't know he was the most hunted man ever.
Well,
al-Asiri's got a U.S. bounty on his head of up to $5 million. Woo. A U.S. counterterrorism official tells...
Hold on a second. How does up to work?
That's a good question. This is rewards for justice?
I might be, but how does it up to?
But if you only deliver a leg, then maybe you get 1 million.
That just makes no sense.
If you just get his head, it's 2.5 million.
Extraordinary that he's doing this given he's basically the most hunted man on Earth.
Al-Asiri's got a U.S. bounty on his head of up to $5 million. A U.S. counterterrorism official tells CNN he's a close ally of AQAP's new leader, Qasem al-Raimi. Analysts say U.S. intelligence will be tracking this piece of writing, looking for couriers who transported it.
So he wrote an op-ed. And this is blowing his cover because they'll be able to backtrack the couriers who delivered the parchment to him or something like that. Woo, Dick Tracy.
Anything that could take al-Asiri out.
What bullshit.
He's believed to have masterminded the 2009...
Are we supposed to believe this crap?
Well, it gets better. I'm playing this for its PR value. Yes, we're supposed to believe that. That's the setup. Now let's listen to where we're... So the setup is most hunted man, most wanted man, dead or alive, $5 million. He has a bromance with the new top guy at AQ Incorporated. And we have to be afraid because of this.
Out. He's believed to have masterminded the 2009 Christmas Day underwear bomb plot, the 2010 printer cartridge bomb attempt. Both targeted aircraft heading to the United States. Both almost succeeded. And analysts say...
I have to dispute this almost succeeded. The printers didn't blow up.
No, and the bomb in the guy's crotch didn't go.
No, he singed his nuts. That's about it.
He's learned from his mistakes.
It's a safe assumption that Assyria is still working to devise a device that will make it through U.S. or Western security protocols.
Whoa, security protocols!
More sophisticated than devices that he's developed before. New generation of underwear devices.
New generation of...
Wow.
A new generation.
That's the tip of the day.
A new generation of
generation of underwear devices.
Let's listen to it.
Gen 2.
V2.
Developed before. New generation of underwear devices.
Clip of the day.
What could that entail? A new generation of underwear devices. I could probably use a new generation of underwear devices.
More sophisticated than devices that he's developed before. New generation of underwear devices, shoe bomb devices.
Shoe bomb devices.
There's even intelligence suggesting the group is looking into surgically implanting explosives.
Now, there's that meme again. We needed that.
We have heard this for so many years.
But he backs it up.
Into human terrorist operatives.
He's tried a version of that before. In 2009, al-Asiri placed a bomb inside the body of his own brother, who tried to assassinate Saudi Arabia's counter-terror chief. The bomb killed al-Asiri's brother. The Saudi official survived. The attack made Ibrahim al-Asiri something of a legend in jihadist circles, and him going public could be a strategy from AQAP to compete with ISIS for recruits.
Oh, now we're competing, you see? Now,
so far, the Islamic State is still winning this. AQAP is behind. They don't produce as much information, and they don't have the same type of network on Twitter. And therefore, possibly putting a figure like Assyria out there is a way for them to get more buzz.
They need more buzz. They need a social media consultant. They need somebody who can help them with the buzz. They're not going viral.
Unbelievable.
I have audio from the brother.
What show was this from?
I think it was CNN.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
This is dreadful.
I have audio of him implanting the explosive device into his brother.
No, okay.
Calm down.
Okay, you got me.
That's what we call a
very funny
call back, everybody. Woo-hoo. Okay, war on men. It's time to discuss this because it's out of control. And again, I'm all for the partnership model. I think the idea that we're now going to place women up above men is exactly the wrong thing to do. Because women can be just as shitty as men, believe me. And there are two clips I have to play. The first one, and I pegged this, was it 2 shows ago, about this sexist air conditioning thing. And this is
I got a clip.
I have a clip too. I'll play my clip first because this is from Sky News, just to hear women having a conversation about this. Now, this is a Dutch study, and as far as I can tell, these researchers, they don't appear to be corrupt. I can't get their actual paper because it costs $125, so I only have an excerpt, and I have a link in the show notes if anyone has a password or an account on that particular website where you can get these types of studies, which I find sketchy that that's not released publicly, but okay. And one of the guys has just done a lot of work on how, and I don't understand it. I don't know how this can be true. Apparently, women have a lower body temperature than men. That makes no sense to me. Isn't it 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit? Isn't that across the board for men and women?
Actually, in Britain, it's higher than it is here. And it varies a lot.
Oh, really? Between men and women?
Well, not between men and women that I know of. I know it varies in culture. Culturally varies.
Okay, but they're saying that women across the board.
Maybe it does vary a little bit, but let's stop it right here before we go on any further. And I believe there's something going on because these stories are showing up too much, too frequently. And how long has this been going on? It's Trane or some air conditioning. Somebody's behind this, and it's a public relations thing. Well, I have never noticed ever that women are moaning and groaning about how cold it is in an office, especially when they set the temperature to 74. That's like too hot for me.
Well,
and remember a few years ago when, set your home thermometer to 69.
Yes.
69 is the temperature you want because it saves energy. And now we're talking about 74 and 72 and these high temperatures.
Well,
and women are going, oh, God, I'm freezing to death because it's 74.
Here's what I'm seeing.
This is bull crap.
So first I'm going to play this clip from these two women. They're both news models on Sky News. But the way they are talking about this is, in my mind, completely sexist and completely not okay. And whenever you can turn something around and replace woman with man, white with black, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden it hits some nerve, then it is sexist, bigoted, racist, etc. Even though it's reversed, it's still sexism.
There it was. There I was thinking it was just me that had a problem, but it turns out it's the air conditioning that's sexist.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, remember what she says. The air conditioning is sexist.
And I think, one of the biggest problems is that often in offices, it is men who control temperatures. That's just something I've found. And
horrible men control temperatures!
Totally. Because majority of the men in offices seem to be absolutely fine with the temperatures. Women kind of just sit there on the corner feeling absolutely frozen. And, often, actually nothing's being done to help them. And, it might sound like a bit of a silly, light-hearted issue, but actually it's really uncomfortable being freezing at your desk every day. Honestly, I think so many women listening now are going to just be nodding their heads thinking, yes, that is exactly my reality.
It's my reality.
We joke at work that we actually can't dress fashionably anymore for summer because
they can't dress fashionably.
You actually just can't go in sandals. You can't go in a summer dress.
You can't go in sandals or a summer dress
because you're going to have to put on the jumper or the emergency cardigan.
The emergency cardigan. That's a product, John. Write it down. Product. No agenda. Emergency cardigan.
So yeah, it is quite frustrating, especially when you then go out on your lunch break or your commute home and you're absolutely boiling outside. And I think there is a bit of a problem when it's warmer outside than it is inside your office.
So what's the
boiling in there? Okay.
Solution then? Because we can't have men overheating in the offices, can we?
Yeah, you can.
No, I think we just need a bit more flexibility. I think it is just essentially common sense. So if an office is noticing that a number of women are complaining about the cold, they need to be more flexible. They need to actually kind of lower it and not just say, but the men are fine. Now there is actually proof that this is actually an issue. I think they need to kind of take women's considerations into account. And you know what? Maybe there can be more flexibility with men not having to wear suits in some offices, and they can come in t-shirts or whatever they need to be the right temperature.
All right. So here's two things I need to say about this. One, I recommend all men go to work in sandals and a summer dress because that would let's see if it's true. And two, every article I see either has placed by the editorial team or by an ad, I'm seeing the Nest.
Oh, the thermometer.
I'm seeing the Google Nest. Google owns that now.
Yes.
That's a thermostat, not a thermometer, thermostat. And whether they're playing into it, well, obviously someone's playing into it with these ads popping up. But
this
pay
is
attention
going
to
on
it.
air. Okay.
Pay attention to it.
I'd like that. I'm looking for that now. But let's listen to NBC. Now, this has been going on every network, but I was recording the NBC version, and they had a kind of a real sexist thing at the end, and I'll try to explain what the visuals were. But this is the clip is the continuing propaganda on this bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, play.
Finally tonight, an answer to one of the great mysteries of our time. Have you ever wondered?
Great mysteries.
Who built the pyramids? How did they do it? How did the pyramids get built?
Why do women often find the temperature at work so much colder than men do? It's part of a battle of the sexes that comes up in our own offices and apparently goes back decades. Here's NBC's Jenna Wolf.
For all the progress we've made over the years in bridging the gender gap, there's still a glaring difference between men and women over one thing, the temperature.
More women complain about the temperature in my office than the men.
For the most part, he says it's hot, she says it's cold, and not just sort of cold.
You are wearing a sweater.
Yes.
Inside the office.
Correct.
Why is that?
Because it feels like February. It's absolutely freezing. It is the summer, and I'm wearing a fake fur blanket.
The great temperature debate has fueled office politics.
Women seem to be more comfortable at something like 75 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas men tend to be more comfortable around 70 degrees.
Because it's just so cold in the office? Some people say they come outside just to warm up. It's a Cold War that's been going on for years, until now. Because a new study shows that the temperatures in most office buildings are determined by an outdated model, developed in the 1960s and based on the metabolism of a 154-pound, 40-year-old man. Fast forward more than 50 years, with half of the workforce comprised of women, those thermostats still haven't budged.
Sometimes there's some shivering going on.
I actually feel just right. Just right.
So as it turns out, women have been right all along. It is actually cold in here.
It could be 100 degrees outside and it feels like the North Pole in here.
And maybe the solution is as simple as a fashion statement. If men and women would just dress for the season, and yes, that's a short-sleeve blazer, everyone would be happy. Jenna Wolf, NBC News, New York.
Now, I want to say something here.
All right.
They showed an outrageous series of pictures of what can only be described as gay couture. Short sleeve blazers,
short sleeve pants,
dress pants that are just below the knees with no socks and shoes.
More ways to humiliate men.
Yes, this was a humiliation article with a humiliating ending, performed by a humiliation tress. This woman who gave the report. And how about asking some women in the office who don't mind the temperature? 75 degrees is too hot for any office to be. It's just ridiculous, especially when all these years we've been told 69, but it's 69. It saves energy. And 69, it takes a while to get used to. The other thing is, since we have houses in both Washington State and California, and my daughter and my son, everybody goes back and forth there every so often. And you get used to whatever temperature you're in. If it's my wife, if it was up to her, hot house, try 60 degrees. She just as soon that we had ice cubes forming on our bodies.
Well, now that she has been elected to become a representative in the race,
she won the primary.
She won a primary in
on her way
in Port Angeles.
Yeah,
and so she can set a rule that all men must wear dresses to work.
This is what the NBC thing was hinting at.
Yes.
And meanwhile, again, there has to be one woman in the office that says the temperature at 72 or whatever it's set at is fine.
I'm sure they're there. Not all women wear sundresses.
And all the women they showed were just there to carp and complain.
Right.
Does anybody here, I can just see it. You go in there with the news crew. Does anybody here want to complain about the temperatures of an office?
Ooh, pick me.
Yeah, I'll do it. Do you have a sweater or anything you can put on?
And by the way, why can't women dress in professional attire?
Yeah, why do they have to be wearing fashion,
why can't
showing their arms?
Why can't they just wear a suit, like a Hillary Clinton pantsuit?
Well, a pantsuit is out, but there's warm wool. I mean, there's clothes you can wear.
So this is whatever the outcome is. I'm seeing a lot of Nest advertisements. That could be one.
Right, it might be Nest,
but
it's too much. Whoever's the PR people for that operation is a genius to pull this off.
Well, let's see if it comes home.
But where's the tie-in? Why would you buy a Nest?
Because the Nest it knows how to regulate it for you, like some artificial intelligence, blah blah blah.
By the way, that little piece that was in that NBC piece where it said, "Oh, this is from something in the '60s that was modeled after a 140-pound, 40-year-old man."
Yeah,
that's bull. What is that?
War on Men.
Show me that document.
That is not in the study, as far as I know.
Show me the document that they cited. I'd like to see it. It's bullcrap.
I have a link to the...
They're just lying to us.
This is from nature.com, and you cannot get it. Wait a minute. There's supplementary information. Let me see if this file has anything in it. What is this?
While you're digging that up, you can play
Well, they have here the... What?
Play this mini clip. Where is the media?
Is it about this?
Just play it.
Where is the media?
Wait a minute. I can play these back to back. This is good. I like this, what you've done here. Hold on a second. So where is the media? Wow, John, you're getting really good at these little...
ISOs.
These little ISOs, yeah.
Calm down.
Where is the media? Humanity is going interstellar.
Now, where's the media? Who do you think that is?
Let me listen to it again. Hold on.
Sorry?
I'm going to listen to it again.
Where is the media?
That sounds like it's an MSNBC guy.
You'll never guess.
Okay, I give up then.
Yeah, you might as well. It's Glenn Beck.
Oh, he doesn't sound like Glenn Beck at all.
Nope. He does a shouting guy that is not bad.
It's pretty good. I like his Glenn Beck shouting guy. Yeah, that's decent. Okay. So we have been noticing this war on men going on for a while, and it is sexist. It is not okay. I disagree with it. If I was working in an office, I'm telling you, I would be wearing dresses with sandals. Sandals. I mean, that's hot, by the way. A dress with your sandals. No, high heels. Now you're talking. Okay. Now, I want to play it's a little long, but you have to listen to the whole thing because it is so unbelievable that this is allowed to be stated on a mainstream network. This is the Today Show, and this is about Lenny Kravitz's dick popping out of his pants. This is Penisgate. You've heard of this?
Yeah, I have heard of it. I never did much looking into it.
Well, but it's pretty funny. And you know, there's a GIF out there that I retweeted, which you can probably look at my timeline. I retweeted it. It's probably my second tweet on the timeline. Then it's just a loop of his schlong popping out. It's really it's funny. You got to look at it. It's really funny.
Guys don't like that.
Yeah, but listen to this. Now, all you have to do when this woman, I forget her name from the Today Show, when she says, guys, just think girls and girls think guys. Just replace it and you'll hear how incredibly not okay this is. And it's just laughed off by that asshole Al Roker, who you will hear in this clip he's always trying to trump over people and kill other people's punchlines and be funnier. And he's just an annoying prick.
He's a friend of the show. He's Al Roker's cousin. Yep. That's a true fact.
That's even worse. Lenny Kravitz is Al Roker's cousin.
Wow.
That's the big takeaway from this shit clip.
That is also Lenny Kravitz's song, Fly Away, one of the best. In a tribute to his Fly Away literally going away, the rocker is trending all over social media after he introduced Stockholm to a whole new front side of himself. Kravitz was jamming on his guitar to his song, American Woman, when he did a squat, and then his leather pants just ripped right open. The jaws of life couldn't put these things back together, and Lenny was a commando, exposing his manhood. Lenny did tweet about the incident last night, creating a not appropriate for morning TV hashtag bleepgate, attaching a hilarious text from Steven Tyler in part saying, "You never showed me that." The rest we can't say on morning TV.
Okay, because that would be offensive. Now, I just want to turn this around. Let's say Taylor Swift, this happened to her, and her pants rip open, and there's her vagina for full view. Will we be doing this report? Boy, and there was her her female parts were all out. We're all out there.
So, ladies and gentlemen at home, I have said if that happened to me, yes, I would be in a fetal position at home crying. Mm-hmm. Men apparently see this differently.
Oh, right. Men see it differently. Then it's okay to laugh about it if it happens to a man, but if it happens to a woman, whoa!
Well, is it embarrassing?
It depends on
what's your manhood?
What falls out. Then you might be embarrassed, but if you're...
I can just hear the conversation. Well, it depends. If you have big labia, I mean, if that's all flappy, who the hell wants to see that?
We're okay with that. Then
we're okay with that.
Mr. Geist.
That's exactly correct. As a journalist,
Greg Robinson
said
the same thing.
Reviewed the
gentlemen
very carefully.
You hear Al Roker's an asshole. Listen, just trying to be funnier.
Show of hands. Who's okay with it?
Lauer said that men just see this different. I would be horrified.
If there's something that you don't want the world to see that you're embarrassed of, then it's a terrible day. But if you're doing okay,
you're okay.
It's a good day.
I mean, if your vag looks nice and shaven, you're okay.
All right.
Yes. Or if there's jewelry involved.
Or if it's pierced.
Yeah. Which there was in this case.
I'm just going to say...
Here it comes.
I have to say, I felt guilty, and I did say a little prayer, but I looked at it multiple times.
I looked at Taylor Swift's vagina multiple times. Come on, people. Women, you should be ashamed of this woman. This is not okay by any means.
I agree 100% with this. You can play the pet peeve thing if you want.
Yes, you probably do that.
Adam C. Curry's pet peeve of the day.
So the next time you hear women joking about it, you say, oh, that's really funny. So next time, I see a camel toe. Look at that camel toe. And you're going to like it? That's going to be funny? No.
Yeah.
You're despicable.
Agree.
I'm angry about this.
Yeah, I got that part.
Okay, now can I make you angry?
You can try.
This is from KQED. This is one of our producers found this and put this together. The 3-parter. This is about bicycles in the San Francisco Bay Area. Now, they some guy from some group, some bicycle advocacy group, that has an idea.
Move to Holland.
Has an idea that would solve all the problems.
Morgan Fitzgibbons, I want to start with you. You've been quoted as saying that the requirement for cyclists to come to full stops at stop signs is absurd. Why is it absurd?
Well, it's absurd because it's not required for the safety of a bicyclist. A bicyclist is a different beast than a 3,000-pound car. It can stop much more easily, is much more maneuverable, and is much less dangerous if a collision actually occurred. So the actual reality is that that's what bicyclists are already doing. 95% of cyclists are already treating stop signs as yield signs, and it's perfectly safe in our city.
So the thinking is, since every bicyclist already ignores stop signs, why not just make it legal for bicyclists to ignore stop signs and just use them as a casual yield warning? Because it works so well in Idaho.
Here you have a cyclist, Morgan Fitzgibbons, who says that cyclists should come to a full stop.
Sure. There are a handful of percentage of cyclists out there who do believe that cyclists should follow the rules of the road.
I mean, why? I can't imagine.
They're called vehicular cyclists. It's a very small percentage, and there is no place in America or around the world where the prevailing culture of cyclists is to stop at a stop sign as a rule. That's just simply not how it's done, and we should follow Idaho and actually legalize the behavior of bicyclists.
Because Idaho is just like Northern California, apparently.
Now, in Holland or Amsterdam, where there's thousands and thousands of so many bicyclists, it's become a parking issue with the city. Do they have these little things? There's little roads for themselves.
It's called a bike path.
Yeah, bike path. But it's, there's hundreds of people on it. It's not like here. For example, there's a place in Berkeley, Marin Drive, which was a nice 4-lane road up and down Marin, which is a good thoroughfare. They changed it to a 2-lane road and put a bicycle thing in there. And I could go down there right now with a camera and set it up, time frame, time lapse, and let it go for 24 hours. There will be no bicycles on this thing.
Okay.
Maybe one. So they've inconvenienced. So here's what we got. We've got bicyclists inconveniencing the motorists, which is really what we were raised as motorists, because this is our culture. Our culture is driving cars, which I guess horses before that. It's never been about bicycles. Even motorcycles it's not been about. But we're trying to shoehorn the style of a couple of European cities. You don't see that many bicycles.
And let me tell you, in Amsterdam,
Amsterdam's the number one.
They do ignore they have stoplights actually on these bike paths.
Yeah,
they are ignored, but they are ignored at their own peril. You see people stopped at the red light all the time, and we also have hundreds of years of culture. But what happens if you're going through a red light and a car's on its way? You're going to get honked at and threatened, and it's just like New York City. You are not supposed to jaywalk. You're not supposed to cross the street when it says little red guy stand still. If you do, then you have a chance that a cab or an Uber driver or a truck or whatever will I used to do this because it messes up traffic. I'd accelerate and just lean on the horn. Brrr.
That's your horn. That's good.
People pay attention. Last clip.
Do you think that bicyclists may have an image problem?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, it's really amazing. I just mentioned all the destruction that we see every day on our streets from automobiles, but we're here talking about bikes. And I've tried to figure out why that is. There's been some studies, and it's interesting. The number one problem that people have with bicyclists is that they get upset that they don't stop at stop signs. And if we could change that, overnight relations would improve dramatically.
Douchebag.
Oh, yeah. Relations would improve. No!
these a-hole bicyclists in San Francisco. San Francisco is not bad enough with all the construction going on because they're building this terminal, which is going to have underground routing for the high-speed rail. So the whole town, and they're just a mess. Now, so you have these bicyclists. They don't pay attention to anything. They go through lights. They go zigzagging. They go up and down the wrong way. It's just outrageous. And there's always somebody, some poor bicyclist got hit. They're getting hit all the time. Never mind. I don't want to get into it.
I thought it was a good little piece.
Yeah, it'd be something they'd play on the network.
Yeah. Enjoy that.
So I have Greta Van Susteren.
Yeah, Susterent?
Susterent,
I think.
Drunk.
No.
Absolutely. Now, in clip 1, the last clip, which is the clip 3, is less noticeable, but there's different people that are drunk have a different way of presenting. A lot of men, and I think Diane Sawyer and others, kind of slur a little bit. It's just a little.
She already has a bit of a speech impediment, though.
Well, she does, but this is from drinking.
Okay.
Because I've never seen her talk so fast. She's one of the. I have had a little bit to drink. I'm going to talk real fast and no one will notice.
One of those. Yeah, that never turns out well, does it?
No, it never does.
No.
And so here she is trying to say the word candidate. And she tries to say it a couple of times, and she fails on both times. And she also, I think, has another error in here that I'll have to remember when I hear it.
Drunk or not drunk.
Debate night on Fox is just hours away. One of those presidential candidates going on the record in moments. But first, all the candidates ready to fire on all cylinders.
Candidates, I tell you.
Candidates.
Let me hear that again. Oh, man. That's great.
Debate night on Fox is just hours away. One of those presidential candidates going on the record in moments. But first, all the candidates ready to fire on all cylinders.
Maybe she's on coke.
No,
was drunk.
Well, now she introduces Carly Fiorina, who apparently was the ex-CEO of HBO.
2016 presidential candidates kicking off that 5 p.m. Eastern debate is former HBO CEO Carly Fiorina. She's here to go on the record. Nice to see you, Carly.
Tell me there's a kicker to this.
Well, no, there's no kicker. There's just more of this.
Well, give me another one.
Here's the funny thing. Listen to this again. And she says, CPO Carly Fiorina, he's ready to go on the record.
2016 presidential candidates kicking off that 5 p.m. Eastern debate is former HBO CEO Carly Fiorina. She's here to go on the record. Nice to see you, Carly.
All right, screw it. I'll give it to you now. You got it.
Clip of the day. Drunk or not drunk.
Oh, man, she's plastered.
Yeah.
He's fabulous.
CPO he's ready to talk.
This third one has more of it?
No, the third one only has one thing. She's trying to get her basis in, and it's very subtle, but it's kind of funny.
All right, you mentioned bureaucracy, that bureaucracy. Here in Washington is the bureaucracy, but we also have an enormous divide. I mean, it's like the Hatfields and the McCoys, and so nothing gets done. Do you see yourself as any sort of unique ability or something, not to agree with your political opponent, but somehow get people on the same page to have a common goal? Can you do that?
Oh, my goodness.
She's over. She's just completely.
I have a call out to producers. Call out to producers. We need an updated version of this.
Drunk again. Drink the sign, drunk again.
We need an updated version for Greta Van Susteren. Greta Van Susteren. Please update that. Because she'll be fun to watch. Because if this is not the first time, she'll be plastered more now.
I think she's finally fed up.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. I
remember this was 2, 3, maybe longer years ago when after Rosie O'Donnell had come in and out of her fame when she tried to do the Broadway play, I believe. And someone was interviewing her, and apparently one of her best friends is Greta Van Susteren, and who is a lesbian.
Greta's a lesbian?
Yes.
Oh.
If you listen to Rosie, I would assume, And so she went on. She says she had a talk with her. Said, "Why are you working for Fox? They're against everything that you stand for." She might be biased.
But she's corrupt. Whose lawyer was she again? Whose lawyer was she?
She was a lawyer for someone that she turned on him. I forgot. I remember that too. We should look it up again.
Yeah, we'll do that.
It was in one of those tell-all books.
Yeah.
And Greta said, kind of shrugged her shoulders, according to Rosie, and said, "Yeah, it's just good money." But she's apparently a liberal, and she's got all these, other supposedly. Now the other side of this story is that Greta may be a real hard-ass conservative who likes to hang out with people like Rosie and then pretends.
Rosie, you mean Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell.
Now, there's a picture.
Not in my mind.
Them clam bumping.
Calm down.
I'm going to show my support by donating to No Agenda. Imagine all the people who could do that. Oh, yeah, that'd be fab. Yeah, on No Agenda. In the morning.
Well, we do a few extra people to thank on the show here for show for 745. By the way, we're coming up to show 747.
Yes.
And we are going to initiate, it will be in the next newsletter, the Mile High Club, because we to celebrate the 747 plane.
And how do we do that? How do we do that?
It's going to be $58.40 or whatever the...
Oh, that's the feet for a mile?
Yeah.
50
and it's going to be the Mile High Club. And we maybe put a web page up with people that are members. Because I think a lot of people, I would include myself in this, have never officially become a member of the Mile High Club.
I am.
Yeah, big deal. But there's a lot of people like myself who have never officially become a member for whatever reason, no opportunity, or who knows, fear perhaps. But you could now say, by donating to the No Agenda show, Mile High Club, that you're a member of the Mile High Club.
Here's what we need. We need a badge or a patch.
Well, we've always wanted to do patches.
But if someone could just design it,
we'll run it on the put it on in the.
Well, someone can design it for us, but it should be funny. And then you could print it out. You can embroider it. You can put it on your Twitter. You can put it on your blog, on your LinkedIn profile.
But no,
there you go.
But if anybody asks you, you're in the I'm in the Mile High Club. Wink, wink. You don't unless they ask for details. You're in the club, and then you say, how'd that happen? I donated $58.40 to the No Agenda show.
I think it's $52.80, I think.
Oh, it's $52.80. I get it wrong.
Isn't that the mile? Isn't that a mile?
I don't know. Somebody sent us a memo with it on there.
Well, we should know how far a mile is.
Let's see what we got here.
How many feet is a mile? And the answer is 5280. 5,280 foots.
Okay, well, somebody sent us a suggestion, which we'll credit him with the suggestion. I thought I printed his email.
I thought it was a her.
No, it was a he.
Well, I can.
Oh, no, it might have been a her.
I can find
I'll find out. I'll get it straightened out by the time the newsletter goes out.
Well, I can tell you right now because, all right. Well,
you have it too. Yes, you have it.
You start reading and I'll find it.
All right, well, let's go and you can look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Let's start with Clay. Bacevice, I would think, maybe. Or Bacevice, Bacevice, but I think it's Bacevice. That's what would be kind of like a bastardized Italian pronunciation. In Dayton, Ohio, 12345. He says, for some reason, I love it when people use the phrase 5x5. Do you know where this phrase comes from?
Yeah, 5x5 is, I think it's more ham radio or CB radio than ham radio. I think 5x5, good buddy. Yeah, I think that's it.
I see my little thing has turned orange out of the blue.
Oh, your processor? No, you're okay. You're doing okay. You're rocking.
Cole Callistra in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. That's 12345. He says his job karma went well for his wife last month. Worked and she got her job back.
Great.
Ta-da.
Great.
David Villieu, 12345 from parts unknown. D. Hawes in Egham, Surrey, UK, 12345. Today's 12345 day.
And he wants to say hello to his brother Alan Hawes from Slough.
Slough near Windsor.
Right.
John from Mississippi Hill Country, 12345, and he sent a note in. What did he say? He wants to call himself out as a douchebag. I guess we can do that.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to comply.
Because my wife asked for a birthday call out July 22nd, and I did not deliver on time.
Oh.
Can you add her to the birthday?
Hold on a second. Let me see. Who is this now?
Sarah.
Frymouth?
Sorry?
Sarah who?
Sarah, it looks like Coyy.
Coyy, huh?
I don't know if that's right. Let me take a... Can't...
Sarah Coy.
Oh, no. Sarah, yeah.
Sarah. Well,
just make it Sarah. Sarah in Hill Country.
And what's her when?
July 22nd.
Okay.
No age.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Onward. D. Okay, we did D. Hawes. That was John. Let's.
Ben Nduva.
How do you pronounce that one?
I think Nduva. Bournemouth.
UK.
He says FFC Badger. What is that?
FFC Badger and to Gitmo Nation each.
Yeah. He wants a de-douching. I think we'll give that.
We haven't got that many.
No, we don't. No.
Baron Sander Hochsbergen in Zaandam.
Baron of the Alps.
11111.
Thank you.
Dennis Cavell in La Jolla, California. These are actually the 8815. Thank you for celebrating my anniversary coming on 8/8. Because we have this 8115 call, so I just added another one, and we got a lot of people saying hello. Clark Pruden in La Jolla, California. W Door Company Ltd. in Lexington, Kentucky. Go to W Door and get a door.
Did he send a picture? He says sent a note and a picture. Did we get a picture?
I didn't get a picture.
Oh,
he did send a note.
No, that's okay.
Eric send a note and a pic. Sir Craig Porter in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Sir Thomas Nussbaum in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Claudia Gerber in Lisbon, Ohio. Benjamin Garcia in La Habra, California. Stephen Yarosh in Wakefield, Massachusetts. Dame Francine Hardaway.
Yes, Dame Francine.
Was afraid she was doing her, send a note. She was doing her PayPal thing, and when she paid her $88.15, all the messages came back in Chinese.
Hacked, glitch,
peculiar,
glitch.
I think it's Sir David de Roos in Zwijndrecht.
David de Roos in
Zwijndrecht.
Very good. Good one.
He's in France for 3 weeks.
Nice.
Jason Daniels in Dallas, Texas. And then down to 84.15 for Eric Wells.
Yeah, he's got a birthday shout out.
Jefferson, Georgia. It's a delayed birthday shout out. I think he's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
William Hodgson in Palmdale, California. These are 8115s. Sir Thomas Nussbaum with us.
Yeah, the guy is all over it.
Virginia Beach, Virginia. One of each.
Nicole.
Can I have a Fletcher Nussbaum? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I guess we have that somewhere, don't we?
I think so.
Hold on. He is, I guess he's with, we have a couple actually. He's with Saint Nicole.
Nussbaum.
I like that.
He's got a
whole.
We're loaded for bears with him
going on there.
For bears. Andy Clements in Trim, Ireland, 8115. 73s. 73. What has he got? EL. Is it EL?
Echo India 3 Kilo Fox.
This is exactly what I was saying. James Spann in Birmingham, Alabama, 8115. Jason Daniels in Dallas, Texas, 8115. And that's the end of that. John
Camlow
in Willowick, Ohio, 6969. John Hamilton in Carlsbad, California, 6961. Sir Rick, who comes in all the time. Sir Rick in Arlington, Washington, 6933. Then we have a birthday girl, Sarah Frymouth.
Frymouth? I like her note. I'm a 24-year-old grad student in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, working towards a master in social work so I can work with older adults who have Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. My boyfriend, Jacob Dillman, was the one to hit me in the mouth almost 2 years ago, so she was 22. It was not until this past May that I started to listen to every show. And then she wants to have a happy birthday to him. He was the one to show me that I do not have to succumb and be a slave. And she says, I love you with all my heart. Aw.
Yeah, talking to her boyfriend, not us.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
6789 from Sarah. Chris in Grafton, Wisconsin. Wisconsin back-to-back.
Random number.
6789.
Huh.
Wait a minute. What's strange? 2 Wisconsin donations back-to-back with the exact same amount of money? Random number. At work.
Yeah.
He needs a de-douching.
Okay, we can do that.
You've been de-douched.
Christian Seguin, I think. Seguin, maybe.
Seguin.
5323. He's in Quebec. Barry Coggins, $50.27. The following are all $50 donors. There are not that many of them. Brian Scazzaro in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Corey McDonald in Richfield, Minnesota. Dustin Martin in Salem, Oregon. Christopher Walker in De Pere, Wisconsin. Adam Beck in Lost Wages, Nevada. Matthew Januszewski in Chicago, Illinois. He must be a knight by now. Mr. Mason Gill in Boogie Down, Bronx. There's a note from him. The only reason I did the notes because he's got this to and from. To Sir Sniff-a-Lot and yeah, no.
Okay, gotcha.
Sniff-a-Lot.
Sriracha.
That was Justin Deluzio in Chadsford, Pennsylvania. That came in as a check. And finally, last but not least, our buddy Sir Brett Farrell from Oklahoma, $50. And he comes in.
We could do better. We have no knights today. We do have an upgrade. We have an upgrade from to Baron. That is Sir Bernie Adama becomes Baronet. I'm sorry, Baronet. No knights. No knights today. No nights.
Okay, well, we do have birthdays.
We do have birthdays, and we also will have a show on Sunday. And in that, of course, we will be discussing the Republican debate. Debate, yes, the debate. And some people have said, why don't you delay the show until after the debate? I said, no, it's much better.
What difference does it make?
We assassinate media. That's what we deconstruct. So it's much more fun and I think more valuable to see how the media is going to take what is said and twist it and turn it.
Right. We need that time.
Exactly.
A few days of the moshing of this event. Yes. They're trying to figure out who the master debater is.
Masturbator. Exactly. All right. Well, as I said, on Sunday, another show. Please help us out for that. We do a lot of work to bring you this spectacular product.
Dvorak.org/NA.
You're in my house. You're in my house. Hey, you're in my house. Come on. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna wait till we get this done. When you drink the booze in my house. I am getting. I'm just gonna take you to somebody. Yeah. Ooh, take you out. You know what I'm saying? Come on,
Jobs, and jobs. Let's vote for jobs.
You got Carmen.
It's a birthday.
And here we go, Sir Bernie Adama says happy birthday to his son John, who turned 33 on August 4th, the magic number. Eric Wells, also on August 4th, turned 48. Sarah Fryman says happy birthday to her boyfriend Jacob Duhlman, who will be 31 tomorrow. Chris Grafton, his son Christian, turns 2 on August 28th. And he himself celebrates on the 10th, and he'll be turning 30. Brian Steffen says happy birthday to his father, Captain Mike, turning 60 this week. And finally, Sarah in Hill Country. Her birthday was on July 22nd. Happy belated birthday from your buddies at the best podcast in the universe. Woohoo! Sorry.
It'd be cool to be, your name is Captain Mike.
There was another donation note that came in that I liked. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
The idea was, for a certain donation level, we would give you a disc jockey name, like Patty Steele.
Right. I don't want to implement this until we're done with the Mile High Club.
Okay, all right.
This is a good idea.
You're right. It's okay. I'll hold back on that.
Okay, can you put it aside though, so it doesn't, end up
Side note.
You don't lose things as easy as I do.
No. Yeah. Okay. Tonight is the debate, and are you familiar with this Independent Journal Review?
No.
This is a strange website.
I may have seen it.
It's very strange. It has a lot of real news, a lot of celebrity news. In fact, I got the Today Show clip with that sexist bullcrap. I got it from their website as I was evaluating and trying to figure out who are these guys. They have taken just about every interesting candidate, and they've made them do crazy things. I think because Donald Trump is so outspoken and brazen, and of course endorsed by me, that somehow we have to. Here, I think there's a consultancy somewhere that maybe they're tied into Independent Journalist Review, saying we got to get the kids involved. The kids have got to start endearing them. So I pulled a couple of these clips because I just found it to be incredible that the candidates are doing this. But here's the first one. This is Ted Cruz, who is auditioning for The Simpsons. Have you seen any of this?
Yes, I saw this one in particular. It's all over the place. It was a big YouTube or
I hadn't
Twitter
seen
phenomenon.
It, so it works. So it works.
Hi, I'm Ted. With Harry Shearer retiring, I'm auditioning for any part I can get in The Simpsons. Smithers, release the hounds. Excellent. Hidely-ho, neighbor. Oakley-dokley, neighbor, you know? One of the great exchanges between Homer and Lisa.
This is pathetic. His Homer and Lisa is really bad.
But, Dad, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat animals. But, Lisa, animals are so delicious. There's the animal we get bacon from, the animal we get ham from, the animal we get sausage from. Dad!
What are they thinking?
Well, Cruz this is a classic example of someone who's not funny.
Yeah, trying to be funny, yeah.
Who thinks they're funny, or they're trying to be funny, or maybe they're funny on the dinner table, but they're not funny people.
So and Android Bruce in the chat room says, why are we talking about this now? This is very relevant. This is the new form of campaigning.
Tonight's the debates.
Yes.
That's why we're talking about it.
Now, speaking of bacon, did you see the second one?
No, I did not see the second one.
A few things I enjoy more than on weekends cooking breakfast with the family. Of course, in Texas, we cook bacon a little differently than most folks.
So what he's doing, he has an AR-15. He's in the shooting range, and he wraps a piece of bacon around the barrel, and then wraps that in tin foil.
Cute.
Yeah. It's produced too. It's heavily produced, heavily edited video. Here we go.
Coming down. All right, let's see if we've got some bacon. All right. Machine gun bacon.
And then he makes the gaffe by saying machine gun bacon, because it's not a machine gun. It's a semi-automatic. Just creepy. This creepy. It's everything you want to hate about a guy like that. Just creepy. Then we have Lindsey Graham, who, of course...
now, was Lindsey Graham did a video with him, too?
Yeah, he did a video. His video was...
How many people did videos with these guys?
Well, I have two more.
Okay.
Yeah, this is why it's interesting that this is happening. So Lindsey Graham, Donald Trump gave out his cell phone number. So the whole video is without him saying anything, but he has a driving... a wood driver, golf driver, and he a pretty good swing, actually. So he hits all politicians want to be present. He hits the cell phone. He's dropping it off the roof. He's slamming it with a cinder block, and at the end, it's all to this classical music.
Or if all else fails, you can always give your number to the Donald. This is for all the veterans.
Right, and then he tosses the cell phone. Okay, very funny. Yeah, stupid. Then we have Ben Carson. And Ben Carson, they thought it would be funny to have him play the game Operation. Are you familiar with this game?
Yeah, hilarious.
Well, I've had an opportunity to assess the patient. It appears that he's in critical condition. However, if we take those organs out, maybe we can get to a fresh start. You have to be able to assess the shapes and sizes of the various things that must be...
I can't even listen to it. It's so stupid. So stupid.
All right, well, get to your point.
Well, the last one you
have to tell us who they are.
I don't know who they are. The last one I have is Jeb Bush.
Oh God!
I get to the hotel like at 10:30 last night, and I'm flipping around, looking at the cable stations, and there's a thing called Sharknado, and I think I see Ann Coulter as Vice President of the United States. It's kind of weird, and there's sharks coming out of the sky. People are getting killed. The White House is being collapsed. The Washington Monument's going down. And lo and behold, Mark Cuban is President of the United States. This is the strangest show I've ever seen. What is going on? And then I find out this is the third version of this. Please help me. Give me some information about what's going on. I'm culturally illiterate, apparently.
What is going on?
How is that beneficial? Well, here, you got to play this now.
Okay.
This is Jeb Bush. There was a New Hampshire debate, and everybody joined in except Trump because he figured it was rigged, and it was.
Yeah.
But so Jeb Bush finishes off the show with this T-shirt anecdote, which makes him sound like a criminally moronic guy.
But more often, he's producing none at all. Or as when he commented on his father's legacy, pundits have found him uninspiring.
In fact, I got a T-shirt that says at the Jeb swag store that says, my dad's the greatest man alive. If you don't like it, I'll take you outside.
Through it all, he is being elbowed.
What?
So if you don't like his dad...
What was that?
Dumb.
I have a from the T-shirt from the Jeb Bush swag store. I have a T-shirt and it says, "My dad is the greatest man alive, and if you don't like it, I'll take you out back."
Yeah, that's hilarious.
What?
I don't understand where this is coming from.
And then he did that other thing, which makes him look like a complete idiot.
What's that?
The one you just played.
Oh, because you have another one, I see.
Oh, this was this kind of annoyed me. This wasn't a bad thing. This is Bush. Yeah, this is the Jeb Bush gaffe, and I can deconstruct it a little bit because Hillary jumped all over this because the guy. He is worse than his brother when his brother was really bad.
Just in time for that debate, Jeb Bush may have ignited a new flashpoint in the race for president with comments he made today about funding women's health programs. Remarks immediately pounced on by Hillary Clinton. NBC News national correspondent Peter Alexander starts us off.
More controversy tonight following a gaffe by one of the Republican Party favorites, Jeb Bush, with Hillary Clinton blasting Bush for his call today to defund Planned Parenthood.
I'm not sure we need $500 million for women's health issues. And in that budget, I can promise you there will not be $500 million going to Planned Parenthood.
Clinton tweeted, Jeb Bush, you are absolutely unequivocally wrong. After acknowledging he misspoke, Bush shot back, what's absolutely unequivocally wrong is giving taxpayer money to an organization whose practices show no regard for the lives of unborn.
Okay, I found out. I got it.
Let me finish the little thing on this clip. He said we shouldn't be giving $500 million to women's health issues when he should have said to Planned Parenthood. Because we need to give more than that to women's health issues. This is the kind of stupid misstatement that this guy's going to make. He's a gaffmeister on the Joe Biden.
Yeah, he's horrible.
And by the way, he's been apologizing for this, mostly for the Planned Parenthood part of it, ever since. This guy is a loser.
Okay, so I figured it out.
Okay.
The Independent Journal Review is owned by the Media Group of America, LLC, which you can find at mgofa.com. Then here I will read from them. Started in 2013, Media Group of America operates media companies focused on helping put the right information in front of the right people, whether through our network of owned media properties, through our award-winning creative and strategy team, or through our patent-pending tools and technology.
Yeah, right.
So they are a strategy company, and
they suck at it.
Yeah, and they they should get someone's asked for their money back. So I guess the Republican conference went to them and said, "Hip our guys up And they created
this. Rance Priebus, who is obviously an idiot.
So their companies are IJ Review, Lift Bump, Image, IMGE, and Shuffle. Let's see. Who do we have?
Like a bunch of Silicon Valley douchebags.
Let's see. President and founder Alex Skattel and Phil Musser.
What's his background?
Go to this mgofa.com outfit. So, of course, they don't have any.
My browser's down.
Browser down. Let me see who this guy is. He has a wiki page. Okay. He is Alex Skattel is an American entrepreneur and former political advisor. There you go. He was previously the digital director for the Republican Governors Association. There you go.
Oh.
The Republican Party is so clueless. So clueless. And you hired this dick with this stupid campaign? He developed the software application iShout, which became a top 25 game in the iPhone App Store. He also founded the viral news website Independent Journal Review. These guys are making money with this crap. Can you imagine the Curry Dvorak Consulting Group?
We'd be kicking butt.
Let me see. He took so he was the director of new media and technology for the Republican Governors Association. In this position, he organized new media training sessions for 37 gubernatorial campaigns. Hey, Alex, you suck. You suck. You suck. Let's see, what else did he do? So they also helped Boeing, General Dynamics, BMW, General Electric. Well, this is a surefire way to make everyone look stupid. How about this other guy, Phil Musser? He looks like an older guy. What is he? He looks like I won't say it. See, does he have a wiki page as well? Mm-hmm. He is from, let me see. He also worked for the Bush administration and also worked for the governors, Republican governors. Yeah, here he is. Digital consulting firm, center-right news site viewed more than 3.5 million people this month. Okay.
They're hopeless. The Republicans are going to lose so bad. Although the media will have it neck and neck the whole time.
That's right. We got it
neck and neck the whole time. So place your bets.
Keep the ads going. Yep, keep them going.
When it gets going, because you'll have better odds at the beginning.
You had something in the newsletter about unicorns?
Yes. Now, this is bothering me. Horowitz brought it up, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking, wait a minute. And I specifically recollected the chief of staff Dempsey singing the unicorn song.
What is the unicorn song? Because I don't. What is this?
What's a unicorn? I can't. Is
that Chumbawamba?
I don't know what it is. No, I think it's something else. But it's got a lot of. You do a lot of hand motions. It's for kids. And I guess Dempsey likes singing. I have a clip of it somewhere. And but then I started noticing there's a lot of references, and then of course they have some possibility the unicorn actually existed in its caves or in North Korea. You start looking up unicorn on the Google, and I had somebody said I said the Google on a couple of shows ago, and somebody in the Twitter goes, he said the Google. What an idiot! I tell you, what is wrong with these people? This is one of these guys.
He said the Google.
He said the Google.
That's a show title. He said the Google.
That's a little long.
Well, I found just
so there's
in
a bunch of stuff going on. I just don't know why is it going on.
I don't know.
And that's what we do on this show, is try to determine why.
I have an example. I have an example of a unicorn, but it's not even that good, really. Never mind. It's just everywhere. Unicorn references everywhere, and there must be a reason for it.
I'm suspecting a movie.
Okay.
And what is this thing with the I've seen this before. The unicorn with the cat on its back. What's that from?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll deal with it. I got one NBC Trump coverage, which is worth playing since we're before we get off the topic.
To the candidates. Ohio Governor John Kasich's in the top 10, and today he seemingly took a swipe at Trump. Republicans going to win Ohio. How do you secure Ohio?
Let me tell you, the only way that we win Ohio is with somebody who's a uniter. If you think you can come into Ohio and divide, polarize, you won't win.
Today, Trump capitalized on the website Gawker's publication of his cell phone number, recording a campaign message for anyone who called.
With your help and support, together, we can make America truly great again.
Late tonight, Jeb Bush released a statement clarifying his support for providing critical women's health services, especially to low-income women, but adding that he believes federal money shouldn't be spent on Planned Parenthood.
He apologized. The NBC's trying to make a mountain out of a molehill by claiming what Kasich said was a slam at Trump when it was. He never even mentioned Trump. And then the real kicker in that little item seemed to me to be that when Gawker published Trump's number, which looked like a phony number anyways, 967-8000, something like that, Trump immediately, unlike Lindsey Graham, who's a weenie, Trump immediately put a message on there to get more votes.
Yeah,
Graham busts up his phone.
Of course.
He has an opportunity to get votes by putting a message on there, and he doesn't do it.
No, dumb.
He's dumb.
No, instead, this great consulting group that makes a video of him hitting it with a golf club. Very smart people. What I like most about Donald Trump is the way the left-leaning Democrats, how they freak out and really put their foot in their mouth. And this is, I hate to say it, but this is from The View. I know. I'm sorry.
Sunk.
A lot of women in America get their news from The View. They believe in these topics, and they have to. They are all like, "Oh, poor Kelly didn't mean it. Oh, Kelly. Oh, yes, but she just made a boo boo. Oh, boo 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 boo." I wanted to play the boo boo that Kelly Osbourne made on the show, which was pretty good, especially when you're sitting there with RP, who is Rosie Perez.
There are a lot of Latinos here in this country that do agree that the immigration problem is a problem and it does need to be addressed and it does need to be fixed.
Interesting.
But making those comments, those racist comments, do not help.
And if you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's
in the sense that you know what I mean. Like, when I'm saying that
there's more jobs.
Unbelievable.
She pretty much said the only people who clean toilets are Latinos.
This is typical of this type of liberal thinking. They're a bunch of racists.
Yes, she's an incredible racist. Because that is, and she realizes the mistake immediately, and then tries to walk it back, which is another great
not
term.
happening.
No. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm saying
there's more jobs to be
in LA, they always
but they don't. Are not only the only people.
I didn't mean it like that. Come on. No, I would never mean it like that.
Yes, you did. Said. That's what you said. You racist. She finally stepped outside of those shoes, which are already too big. You're the daughter of a drunk. That's all that you are, and you got pink hair. And you're British. Shut up. Well, maybe she's American. I don't know if she's British or not. But
Amy Goodman had an interesting little clip about Trump that's been one of the memes.
Yeah.
Trump's memes are that his kids are a bunch of brutal animal killers, and he's a rapist. They also keep quoting this thing about the woman who was using a breast pump. And then he says that's disgusting, as though he hates motherhood. Remember that? You heard that one too,
of course.
Right? She actually says it in the same disdainful note, but she actually puts it in context, and she doesn't even think about it. But this is Amy putting it in context, and I want to explain what must have happened, and I think this is puts me in your camp about promoting Trump a little bit.
The latest revelations, he once erupted in anger at a female attorney who was deposing him when she requested a break in a deposition to pump breast milk. Trump told her, quote, "You're disgusting," before storming out of the room.
All right. Here's what happened, obviously, because I've been to depositions.
I've been deposed, sure.
And so you had I would say a crap-head attorney, this woman who was deposing him. And it's probably for over one of his divorces or something when she's like a man-hater. Well, let's just say. Whatever it is, she's deposing him and he's saying something. She doesn't like it. And she says, "Oh, let's stop for a second. And then she pulls out a breast pump and starts pumping breasts while staring at him.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And he says, and he leaves. He says, "This is disgusting," because it is disgusting. You can't do this. But these are the kind of sleazeball. If you take really high-end lawyers, attorneys, many of them use sleazeball tactics, and this sounds to me like one of them. Let's gross out this guy.
Which tells me they are incredibly afraid of him.
I would think, well, yeah, so that's pretty apparent.
I can't wait for the debate tonight.
It's fun to watch.
Wait. I'm so happy Donald Trump is in my life.
Well,
he brings me joy.
He will be railroaded out of the getting nominated.
We shall see.
You want to put money on that?
Yeah, I'll put $5 on Trump.
Okay, $5 it is.
$5 that he is. What are we going for? That he becomes the candidate? Yeah. Oh yeah. He's in. He's the man. Oh yeah.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
Now, apparently, played another Trump clip. Trump talks to Bill Clinton. Did you know about this?
Yes, I did. This is scathing.
And joining me now is chief political analyst Gloria Borger.
Hold on a second. Stop the clip. I wanted to throw a little.
Hold on a second.
Stop the clip.
Stop. This is a good example of having some interesting insight or some thoughts on the clip, because these are two women on CNN that are just yucking it up about everything. They're ad-libbing left and right, and they want to go a little further and talk about what might be going on just in some off chance. But unfortunately, one of them says a conspiracy. Use the words conspiracy theory, and then they both go into denial about their own analysis. It's very interesting dynamics at the end of this clip.
And joining me now is chief political analyst Gloria Borger. So, Gloria, we can talk about the inner circle, but I have to ask you about this phone call that Suzanne was reporting about. This call between Donald Trump and President Bill Clinton in the lead up to Trump's presidential announcement. What do you make of it?
Well, it's very clear that Bill Clinton was returning some phone calls from Donald Trump. As Suzanne pointed out, there was a pre-existing relationship there. Trump has been a donor to the Clinton Foundation. The Clintons went to Donald Trump's third wedding. But it seems very clear to me that Trump wanted to talk to Clinton about politics. And, wouldn't you like to be a fly on the wall in that conversation? Yeah. But if you want to get conspiratorial about it, if Trump is considering a presidential bid, why wouldn't Bill Clinton say, yeah, that's kind of interesting, Yeah, maybe you could speak to the party base. I mean, the more the merrier as far as Bill and Hillary Clinton are concerned on the Republican side. The more discord, the better. So why would Bill Clinton do anything to discourage Donald Trump?
It's so fascinating, and probably will continue to feed some of what we heard in those conspiracy theories. Many conservatives saying, could he be a Democratic mole? I mean, it's definitely been out there.
I don't think so.
I'm with you, Gloria. Yeah. I'm just tossing it out there.
Yeah, just tossing it out there. You can't, but if you're doing conspiracy theories, you need to be a podcaster. You can't be on the news.
I'm tossing it out there.
I'm just tossing it out there.
Which is a moment of denial. I heard this just like this. I heard this idea is pretty funny, and it could be possible. I mean, why wouldn't it be? But since it's conspiracy theory, no, never happened in a million years, because that negates everything immediately, just the use of the term. I'm just tossing it out there. I got nothing to do with it.
Less than 10 minutes to go.
All right.
Okay.
Less than 10 minutes to go. I have two topics to discuss before we go. Since we're doing Trump, let's do Hillary. This was I'm going to save this for Sunday. It's cool for tech news. Do we want to do tech news right now, or can we save that for Sunday? I think maybe.
Let's do it on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll do that on Sunday. Then I will wrap up with the president came out with this climate change speech, and it was nicely packaged into a video, which we have to play at least the beginning of. Here's Euro News. Now, the idea here is that the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, is going to use their very powerful regulation powers to force, coal-fired plants to reduce their carbon emissions. And please note, carbon emissions, not carbon dioxide, carbon emissions, which is something totally different than carbon dioxide, by 32% in the year, there it is, 2030. It's our favorite year. But here's Euronews with a rundown.
If enacted, Obama's Clean Power Plan will be the most ambitious climate change policy ever to be taken up by an American president. The U.S. environment...
I don't think that's true. Wasn't it Jimmy Carter who did the capping of the acid rain stuff?
I don't know.
But this is your wheelhouse.
I don't know if my wheelhouse, it is?
Yeah, weren't you an environmental inspector?
Air pollution inspector.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, then wouldn't you know everything about air pollution?
I wouldn't know everything about what president would be the strongest on these things because they're all full of crap.
Okay.
And I listened to Naomi Klein comment mostly on this particular topic, and she went on saying this is bull crap. This is not really doing anything. We're all going to die.
I don't have it queued up. All right, then I'll skip this and go straight into the MSNBC announcement of the president about to do this speech.
A couple of hours from now, President Obama will unveil a new plan to slash greenhouse gases and promote renewable energy, all in an effort to fight climate change. In fact, it seems like Mother Nature may be making his point for him sometimes. Today's event was supposed to be held outside, but with temperatures expected to be in the mid-90s, officials figured it was too hot, so they moved it to the East Room. NBC senior White House correspondent Chris Jansing is in an all-too-hot area outside at the White House.
We're all gonna die!
Really?
I move those women from those offices into the thing.
All right, I want to play the beginning.
Before you go, I got one clip I just want to get it out of the way. Unless you have, I can finish with this clip.
You finish with it. I'm just going to play.
Okay.
The president put together a nice little promo reel, and I can just see him in the booth voicing this. We won't play the whole thing, but just listen to all the facts and everything that's stated up front, which is just not true.
Our climate is changing. It's changing in ways that threaten our economy, our security, and our health. This isn't opinion. It's fact. Backed up by decades of carefully collected
marching
data.
Band in there? What is this?
Do you have your armband on? Because
changing in ways that threaten our economy, our security, and our health. This isn't opinion. It's fact. Backed up by decades of carefully collected data and overwhelming scientific consensus.
Love this. Overwhelming scientific consensus. That's why it's a fact. Love you, President Obama.
And it has serious implications for the way that we live now. We can see it and we can feel it.
Oh, we can see. What do you think we can see and feel that the climate change is happening?
No, I don't see anything.
Hotter summers.
Hold on a second. Stop tape.
Hold on a second. Stop the tape.
I'm going to look out the window.
Yeah.
And see how we're doing on the ocean.
How's the ocean?
The mud flats are still there.
And our health. This isn't opinion. It's fact.
Fact.
Backed up by decades of carefully collected data and overwhelming scientific consensus. And it has serious implications for the way that we live now. We can see it and we can feel it. Hotter summers, rising sea levels, extreme weather events like stronger storms, deeper droughts, and longer wildfire seasons. All disasters that are becoming more frequent, more expensive, and more dangerous.
More dangerous.
Our own families experience it too. Over the past 3 decades, asthma rates have more than doubled. And as temperatures keep warming and smog gets worse, those Americans will be at even greater risk.
So he went from climate change to smog.
That's a big difference.
Oh, and wait.
Landing in the hospital. Climate change is not a problem for another generation. Not anymore. That's why on Monday, my administration will release the final version of America's Clean Power Plan. The biggest, most important step we've ever taken to combat climate change. Power plants are the single biggest source of the harmful carbon pollution that contributes to climate change.
Carbon. Not carbon dioxide, carbon. And they have a big element C with a 6.
They had a C instead of a CO2?
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Yeah. But until now, there have been no federal limits to the amount of that pollution those plants can dump into the air. Think about that. Okay. We limit the amount of toxic chemicals like mercury and sulfur and arsenic in our air and water.
Okay.
We're better off for it. But existing power plants can still dump unlimited amounts of harmful carbon pollution into the air we breathe.
Carbon pollution.
Huh.
This has nothing to do with global warming.
No, he's out to get the coal companies.
That's right.
Horowitz and I have been following this fairly closely because there's some good investment opportunities, but not if they go bankrupt. No. And they've already, one or two of them already have.
Huh.
Horrible.
All right,
all I've got is this. I got a pretty good rundown of the flap story. You know, they found a flap.
Yeah, the flaperon.
They found a flaperon, and they took it to France. And I have the clip to kind of summarize. This is the looking at every clip, and it's a pretty concise evaluation of what's going on.
Is it just the paint that they're looking at?
They're looking at every aspect.
What happened?
He brought, instead of aspect, I think it said ass. It was only 3 seconds.
Ass.
We're looking at every ass?
Oh, I must have made a mistake when I made this clip.
Was it longer?
No, I don't remember this.
I kind of like it when he says every ass.
Yeah.
I don't think that was intentional.
Okay. It wasn't much to it.
Yeah, oh well, okay. Yeah. All right. Tonight, John, are you going to watch?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to watch both debates.
Very nice.
Don't want to miss the early one.
Oh, what's the early one?
That's the losers, the guys who didn't make the cut.
Oh,
they're having their own losers debate. It's like
great.
The losers. It's like it's like a double elimination tournament where there's a losers round and there's a winners round, and these people have been put into the losers round, so they're going to have trouble getting back into.
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
I love it. I love it. Alrighty then. Yeah, there will be more to look. I'm going to look further. There's another. The Rolling Stone magazine also put out this huge climate change article to coincide with the president's announcement.
What a coincidence!
Yeah, I'd say I should read this. They were like, it was so hot that the Guardian had to stop live blogging because the server became overheated. Really? Really, Rolling Stone? You're fucking pathetic. Pathetic. Oh, well, that happens. All right. All right, coming to you from FEMA Region 6 here in the capital of the Drone Star State in the Crackpot Condo. Good morning, everybody. I'm Adam Curry.
And from northern Silicon Valley, where the mudflats still exist, I'm John C. Dvorak.
We'll be back on Sunday right here on No Agenda.
You're in my house. You're in my house. Hey, you're in my house. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, okay. I'm just gonna wait till we get this done. When you drink the booze in my house. I am getting. I'm just gonna take to somebody out. Boom, take you out. You know what I'm saying? Come on, guys.
Humanity is going interstellar.
No.
Yeah, by the way, I think John C. Dvorak did a fantastic job.
I'm Joe Biden, and thank you for taking the time to listen.
Adios, mofo.
The best podcast in the universe. Dvorak.org/NA.
Amen. Fist bump.